plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
She's in. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just confirming she will seek another term next year. The California Democrat is 83, representing her San Francisco area district since 1987.
Pelosi stepped down as Democratic leader following the Republican flip of the House last year, but she has remained in Congress and an influential party leader.
Fox's Jared Halpern. A special grand jury in Georgia recommended charges against 39 people in an election fraud case. Ultimately, 19 were indicted, including former President Trump. A report released today reveals 2 former senators and a current senator, Lindsey Graham, were on the grand jury's recommended list sent to Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis. The Trump campaign says the report shows a politically motivated and biased investigation. President Biden, who's now in India, highlighting shared values with India's prime minister, including freedom and democracy, ahead of a G20 summit where not all members will land on the same page.
For example, China may not sign on to reform the World Bank because that would encourage developing countries to stop taking high interest loans from Beijing. China and India will likely hesitate to cooperate with emissions cuts as they use coal-powered factories to keep growing their economies.
Fox's Peter Ducey in New Delhi. A Philadelphia police officer now faces multiple charges, including murder, in the traffic stop killing of a man. Body cam footage just released shows that Eddie Irizarry was shot inside his car, not outside the vehicle, as police initially reported. District Attorney Larry Krasner says Irizarry's family wanted the entire video released. However,
they do not want any criminal unrest. They do not want any rioting. They do not want any looting.
The now former officer Mark Dial already surrendered to face the charges. His attorney has said he thought Irizarry had a gun. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
What a great afternoon of weather around town. Headed into the weekend, mostly sunny skies. Beautiful temperatures and humidity right around 80 degrees. So a lot of the time in the 70s tonight. Clear, cool 70s for evening plans, 58 for the low. Saturday, sunny and nice, 80 degrees, 55 Saturday night. Sunday, sunny and nice again, near 80. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I've been announcing the fact that I'm going to be giving the first seminar I've given in 2 years. It's going to be September 9th and 10th. I'm doing it because, number one, the marketplace is ripe for incredible investing. During these 2 days, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to be able to walk out of that room, get up Monday morning, and go get the deal. You're going to learn to locate, evaluate, negotiate, contract, close, and operate these properties. In 2008 through 2009, when the marketplace did what it's doing right now, I tripled or maybe even quadrupled my net worth. I throw that out there every time and I think to myself, I should probably find out exactly what it was. It's happening again, folks. I see it. I feel it. The numbers prove it out.
Del Walmsley, CEO and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, is coming out of retirement. One weekend only. Register at financialfreedomweekend.com. Limited seating. financialfreedomweekend.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts proudly introduces new Brake Best Select Pro brake pads and rotors. For superior stopping power and professional-grade performance, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Available only from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Not just Democrats, but huge numbers of independents too. Democrats, obviously huge numbers of Republicans. Yeah, we're seeing President Biden's approval ratings, really in the basement here. And I think what must be really worrying for the White House is nothing is really moving them up. The economy is not in bad shape. The inflation is still obviously a serious problem, but there is just no indication that the president is able somehow to connect with people. And as you say, these astonishing numbers that show 70%, 75%. Wall Street Journal had a poll this week showing more than 70% of Americans think the president is too old, out of touch. Other polls, when people are just asked, like word association, what they think about President Biden, it's old, incompetent, incapable, all of those things. We've never had a president really who's held in such low esteem by such a large majority of Americans.
It's funny because you would have thought that they would have said that about Donald Trump, somebody who's been held in such low esteem by so many Americans. Imagine, you got to compare these two scenarios that we're in today, here in September of 2023. The cratered polling numbers for President Joe Biden this far in, where you see things are not as easy in this country as they used to be. It is a little bit more of a struggle. You do have to work a little harder to make ends meet. Sometimes you kind of have to sacrifice a little bit in order to get through the day. But you've got Joe Biden with cratering polling numbers in a media climate where he is coddled. I mean, I don't want to use the phrase like a baby because we know that's offensive to Corinne Jean-Pierre, but it's not as if he's up against the obstacles that Donald Trump was up against when things were going well. How is that? And how, if 39% of Americans, or 38%, or whatever it is today, if 38% of those people in this country are feeling okay about the way Joe Biden is going, remember the climate with which they're provided information and the extent you have to go to seek out an alternative to what the Democrat Party has their hands around. It's really something to compare the numbers where Donald Trump's numbers at this point in time were better than Joe Biden's. And this, what's he in? 2.5 years into three years into his presidency here, he has had a completely and totally easy cakewalk when it comes to being challenged by the people in the media. The people in the media who, I always remind you, they're there to represent you. Listen to this poll here from CNN.
You noted the 39% approval rating has been hovering down there in that range since the spring. Take a look at this, Sarah, how that stacks up to his modern day predecessors at this stage in their presidency. So Biden is sort of hanging in this area with Trump and Carter. Just to note, both of those folks lost their reelection efforts when they were running for reelection.
Yeah, but Donald Trump, he's coming back. That's what we are to believe. That's the way it looks right now in the Republican primary. Brad, when you were when people are talking about this presidency, here's the weird thing about getting older, that when people start talking about history, you start to remember
it happening. Yes.
You like know it. You didn't learn it.
Yeah, I lived it.
We did not live Jimmy Carter.
No.
I remember hearing about Jimmy Carter.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
What do you think about when you hear about how people like these pundits who go on and trying to make a case, trying to make a point, when they start comparing Joe Biden to these other presidents that you've learned about versus what you're experiencing now as an American tax-paying voting citizen?
Well, like when you learn about it, depending on who's teaching you about it, but generally like what they like to go back and compare him to Jimmy Carter. Everything that I've ever heard about Jimmy Carter was, yeah, he was a really nice guy, but he just was a terrible president and things were really hard. And then as a nation, our countenance, our attitude as an American, like this optimism that we had as Americans was just gone. It wasn't there anymore. And people were down on themselves and it was hard luck and all of this other stuff. And you listen to that and you go, geez, I sure hope that we're not in that situation. So to me, what I learned, and I think this is just part of history, as you're coming out of history, it doesn't seem as bad when you're going through it compared to when people go back and review it and look at it and they go, wow, this was really tough. Because whenever you're in the midst of it, you're going, well, this is just what I have to deal with and this is what I got to do.
Doesn't that also require it to get better?
Yes.
In order to look back and go, holy crap, that was awful.
Yeah. And then right after Jimmy Carter was Ronald Reagan and he got things straightened out and off we went.
Yeah. Ryan, you remember Herbert Hoover? Hold on, Ryan. I'll be right back. He's got to turn his microphone on. No.
So none of these mics work.
None of those mics work.
We had an issue. The morning show had an issue with the microphones. You look like you're at a press conference.
3 mics in front of me.
None of them work.
And maybe one of them works, but I don't know which one it is.
I wish the camera worked.
The grand prize game with Bozo.
Which one are you talking into?
I think I'm talking into this one now.
Herbert Hoover.
Oh, Hoover. Yeah.
Hoover.
I'm glad you asked. I lived in a Hooverville. And so I experienced that firsthand. It was very, very tough. We lived in shanties back after the stock market collapsed in 1929. So it was tough. And when you live it, you do remember and you can compare.
Can you stand up like a normal person since Ethan's setting your camera?
No, I
right
look
now?
so cute.
Well, that's the way you got to be for the rest of the show.
I'm making really good solvent points.
Ryan's just living his best life right now.
Yeah, well, this is the way it's going to be. So I'll just have to lean in and
now you're out of the screen.
I'm doing the not very nice. If I had a skirt, I'd be pushing it down like Marilyn Monroe.
What'd you just say about Herbert Hoover?
I was just making up some stuff about being alive at that time. It meant nothing.
Is it weird? We are all hovering around the age of 40. Is it weird to start remembering from your own personal experience, or maybe just being a young kid and knowing what was going on at the time? Because maybe you just kind of glean from what your parents talk about. the Reagan years were really good years as the economy moved through the Reagan years. I know that the Clinton years, and there was a lot of prosperity during the Clinton years as well, and it did require some bipartisanship working with Republicans across the aisle. But I really keep trying to ask myself, how bad is this moment right now? The thing I remember a lot of people talking about, or maybe people talking a lot about, I should say, Jimmy Carter, is interest rates being astronomical.
Yep.
I remember foreign policy wise, Jimmy Carter couldn't talk his way out of a paper bag to handle the situation with the hostages. And then I also remember a lot of energy pushes. Was there a light bulb thing? Somebody in the chat's going to have to tell us. I feel like there was like a shortage on light bulbs, or light bulbs were super expensive. These are just things. This is what I'm talking about. Being 40 years old, I didn't live Jimmy Carter. I can't learn the lessons of Jimmy Carter as somebody who went through it and apply it to now and know how to go out of this. But there is a whole generation of people who are living this for the first time and going to come out of the Joe Biden years working towards saying, no, Jimmy Carter, we don't want to ever do that again.
Well, it's weird because with Jimmy Carter, and this is something that I've studied in history books, clearly, because I was not alive for Jimmy Carter or Herbert Hoover. But the interest rates were so high that it crushed the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're starting to experience that now for the first time. I mean, really in our lives. Yeah. This is the first time that this generation, this room, has dealt with interest rates above maybe 5 at the most, if that. I mean, they've been low for our entire lives, especially our adult lives, since we've been buying things and had to use interest.
Isn't a lot of that because we have grown up from an adult time? We've grown up in a period where the economy was suffering so much from other things?
Yes. It's been a number of things. I think the policy of the Fed is different than it used to be, so they don't immediately run to that like they used to, although they are right now, because inflation is that bad. But also, I think it's that we've had good economies, and even in down times, they haven't had to jack the rates up like that before. So we're dealing with a moment right now where we're going, okay, is this because, well, we know what it is. It's because of bad decisions. In the past, you'd have to deal with foreign influences and wars and things that were affecting your economy. This is just bad domestic policy that has caused this economic collapse or this economic time that we're in. So this is a different time. And hopefully, like you guys said, we are able to look back on it and go, oh man, remember the Biden years? Remember that brief period between Trump terms where we had the Biden years where things were so economically bad?
But will we be able to look back on it? Because will people be willing to vote for a Donald Trump because it doesn't matter how bad things are. They've got it in their mind that Donald Trump is literally the worst person to have ever held office ever. Not his policies, mind you, the person Donald Trump. I don't know if you can break through that because he still doesn't, like, he invokes people to feel a certain kind of way and people are kind of locked in. And I'm incredibly, incredibly concerned that if we take what Biden's doing, like Donald Trump's strategy for president can't be, look at how bad Joe Biden's doing. Joe Biden's strategy can absolutely be, hey, don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the other guy, which is what his strategy has been. Donald Trump wins, Donald Trump runs, Joe Biden goes straight back to his basement. He doesn't debate. He doesn't have to answer to anything. And the whole story becomes about Trump. And so whether or not Joe Biden does a terrible job, we are looking at the distinct possibility of a second Joe Biden term because people hate Donald Trump. I know we've got a lot of Trump fans and Trump, people out there, but I don't know that you really understand how much people don't like that man. And I'm with you. I can't figure it out, but I know that they don't like it. And I don't want 4 more years of Joe Biden, 4 more years of Democrat concern, any of that. I don't want 4 more years of that because I don't think that we can make it. I don't think that we could last through that. We'll either end up in a big old war or the economy will completely collapse. And then we'll be talking about Great Depression type numbers instead of Jimmy Carter numbers.
When you think about ending up in a big old war, if Joe Biden is the president of the United States, that's a war that we fall into. That's a war that we have. I mean, good grief. You look at the southern border and it feels as though we're kind of in that already. That's a war that is happening all around us, to us, and then reluctantly something really bad happens that we didn't prevent because we were not peace through strength, and then we back into it, which is not really the way that I want to participate in a war, which is simply reluctantly because it seems as though there's nothing. Maybe you were attacked. Maybe there was a scenario where we've had to lose American lives. I mean, the idea of peace through strength is a real important thing. And we are paying adversary countries for hostages. We are funneling just dollar after dollar after dollar into Ukraine to support what they're doing. And there's not really a whole lot to say for it. I'm of the mind that funneling taxpayer dollars to Ukraine to help them wear Russia down seems like a smart move. But on top of that move, we have to be very, very, very judicious and on the money, literally, with where those dollars go. And I just don't know that we're doing it. I certainly don't trust Joe Biden to do it. And it can't be set aside that the heart and soul of the controversy that connects Hunter Biden and Joe Biden to trading dimes on the American taxpayers' time is centered in Ukraine. You cannot set that aside. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the YouTube live chat poll and get to some more news headlines of the day. Don't go away.
Who's that sexy thing I see over there?
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I see thing hanging around my neck. That's gold. Show me some respect. Oh, I thank God every day that I woke up feeling this way. And I can't help loving myself. And I don't need nobody else. Nuh-uh. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
Centric Security and Automation, 314-442-6860. That's 314-442-6860. Online at centricstl.com. They are a service-centric focused business, which means that when they help you establish an incredible system of cameras, of access control, so you have people who scan in and scan out, that keeps the people inside your building safe, keeps the door locked until they are been given access to move into the building. Centric Security and Automation follows all of that service, or all of those products and that process up with great service to make sure that you're not left going, well, I don't know how to use any of this, or maybe an instance comes up, a security issue, and you need help making sure that you've got what you need and fast. Centric Security and Automation will help you navigate that situation. And they've done it. They've got, actually, if you ever reach out to them and talk to them, they got some pretty crazy stories of people they've been able to catch and things they've been able to rectify because the security systems were in place. Protect your business, protect your building, protect your people, and protect your intellectual property with Centric Security and Automation. 314-442-6860, centricstl.com.
Healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Dogs on Duty supports working dogs, and 97.1 FM Talk proudly supports Dogs on Duty for this month's Conservatives Care. I'm Sue Thomas. Check out this great organization at 971talk.com/care.
I saw you dancing in a crowded room.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
But then you saw me, caught you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eye. I don't know why I run away. I'll make you cry when I run away.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to have you here with us on a Friday afternoon. Ryan, why don't you set up for us the YouTube live chat poll for today and tell people what they're voting in?
Sure. Do you like polls? Yes, love them. No, don't trust them. No, but the Annie Frey Show poll is fun.
Yay!
Yay! You can hear the enthusiasm in our voices that we love.
And you can hear our voices.
That's the most exciting thing of all. When you're having tech problems, the most exciting thing is that you can hear us in some meaningful
I
fashion.
just said we're having some major technical issues right now, folks, and we're working through them live on the show. Everything just got set up. Ryan just got like a whole new little mini studio made by our associate producer, Ethan. And now you're really fuzzy on the camera.
That's all right. We call that the Barbara Walters filter. I look very
Barbara
nice.
Wawa. Wasn't that what they said? And wasn't that the SNL?
SNL was always wah 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 hill. So let us know what you think about polls in general by using our poll. What I really want to know is if you're the person who says, no, I don't trust them, but I'm going to go vote in this poll to let you know that. Why? Leave a comment so that we can understand your mind.
We've never proposed that this Annie Frey Show poll that we do every day has anything to do with accuracy.
No, or science.
No, the science.
Well, the science, okay.
We only deal in the poll world that we do here. It's always based on the science.
Yes, the science is different than science.
One is real.
And we don't want to let you know which one it is. And that's why we're doing the poll today, to find out what you think about polls and the science. Do you like polls? Yes. Love them. No.
Brad, do you like polls?
No. But the Annie Frey.
When I look at polls, I say this all the time. Polls are persuasive. They're not predictive. You can't look at a poll and say, oh, this is what's going to happen. No. What that poll is supposed to do is to reflect what the person who commissioned that poll wants it to reflect. That's the idea. And then they take that poll and they go before whatever audience they're trying to go before to try to persuade them of whatever it is they're trying to persuade them. So if you want to know how accurate a poll is or what the purpose is of a poll, you have to look at who's commissioning the poll and what their motives are. And then you can get an idea of why it is what it is. So no, I don't trust polls. I don't look at them as anything other than a persuasive tool trying to change my mind on something.
They're paid for and used by campaigns in many cases to ask a question in a specific way. And the idea that a poll would come out and be favorable to somebody, and then you find out that it was a commission poll by that particular campaign, it makes you go, oh, okay. For me, I'm a no, but the Annie Frey Show poll is fun. That's my vote.
That's a fair vote.
Ryan?
Yes, I do like polls. Nothing that you're saying is false. It just depends on the poll, because some polls are commissioned for a reason. Other ones are attempting to be unbiased even if they still have a bias, they're attempting to be unbiased. That's why I look at a variety of polls. I look at polls of polls.
I don't even really agree with that. I don't think they're, even if they have a bias, they're attempting to be unbiased. I think they're attempting to appear to be unbiased.
Sometimes, yeah, it depends on what it is, because if you're attached to a media, now that's the way all of them are now. They used to not all be like this. Gallup, for instance, they don't even do presidential polling anymore because they acknowledge it is almost impossible to remove yourself from it and still make a living doing polling, because you have to attach yourself to a media outlet now to basically fund a poll.
So Gallup was, as far as polls go, where did they rank as far as standard?
Gallup has been around so long that they are ranked very highly, and that's one of the reasons they actually stepped out of that particular poll area.
So the organization that says, or that is supposed to be one of the most unbiased polling organizations, has stepped out of polling because they said it's almost impossible to be unbiased
and to fund it. Yeah.
So what you're saying is,
yes,
is that polls are biased.
I am saying, especially presidential, especially political, but presidential more than anything because it gets such marquee headlines. So everything you're saying is true. I have no doubt that what you're saying is true.
And you said there are organizations out there that say that they're trying to be biased, and Annie pointed out they're trying to give the appearance of being unbiased. But what do you have to go on as far as that? How do you know that's actually what they're trying to do? If they're trying to appear to be unbiased, they're also going to tell you, hey, we're unbiased. So you don't know if the poll's biased or not.
Well, you only know from following the poll for a long time, because you can just see their track record. If you see their track record is pretty close or is within the range, then you know that they've tried, or that they've gotten lucky enough that they've been pretty good at it.
What I want from a poll is accuracy, not necessarily bias or unbiased. It doesn't matter what the bias is if the poll's not accurate.
Right. So yeah, you look at the track record of the poll, and a lot of them, I mean, there's the famously bad ones, like Hillary Clinton's going to win 2016 by 13 points and stuff. You know, these things really
was every poll.
That was specifically NBC's poll, and you had to almost throw those out. Now the weird thing is, in 2016 there was some accurate polling from places like CNN. This is what you're speaking to, Brad. CNN had pretty accurate polling, and I can't remember who they were partnering with at the time. It might have been Service or something like that, spelled weird. But they changed their pollster because it was so accurate that they wanted to be able to report polls that were less accurate, because that's what they were trying to do, because they're a media outlet.
So we like to look back and point to 2016, but in 2022, we said that there was a red wave coming and it just didn't materialize. Was that just bad polling? Was that bias in polling? Was that like, and to my point about polling, would a company that, like I said, people are using this to persuade people. You can persuade people to do things and persuade people not to do things. And with polling, you could persuade that somebody is possibly the leader when they're not, but that's the person you want to run against.
Yes.
So if you're saying, so in the first segment, I raised the alarm. I don't know that Donald Trump can win a general election. Donald Trump's way out in front. I think that that's accurate. I mean, those poll numbers are so big that it would be really hard to come up with a poll that says something else. But then you look at the national polling, some of the stuff that came out, Donald Trump's up 47, 46 on a national poll over Joe Biden and all this other stuff. Could a poll be changed or slanted in that way to make it seem that a candidate is more viable so that you're more likely to vote for that candidate in the primary, so they get the candidate they want to run against in the general?
Absolutely can. It just depends on who's pulling the strings. I'll give you the key to all polls now. This is all of them.
He's got the key.
I've got the key
this whole time.
Yeah,
Wiggins has been hiding the key.
No, and I didn't find it until after 2022. So that's the thing.
So there's no check on it. I see where you're headed. Go ahead.
The key to all polls is weighting the turnout, because you can find whatever you want.
You can't do that.
That's how they have to do it. So they have to find X amount of Republicans, X amount of Democrats, X amount of independents.
You don't know what turnout's going to be.
And that you don't know what turnout's going to be anymore. We're so divided.
So it's trash.
That the best polls, all they can do is predict turnout anymore, because you're going to have Republicans voting Republican, Democrats voting Democrat, no matter what. So all they're really doing anymore is determining who has the best weighting to their poll.
But they're wrong.
And they have been wrong, especially Republican pollsters in 2022.
I like
because
how I
they
make a
didn't,
point that disproves Ryan. He's like, exactly.
in 2022,
you are a poll right
you
now
had-
in my mind.
you had
one
a
out of
lot
one Wiggins is
of
approved.
right-leaning pollsters that were off because they predicted turnout based on old models. Well,
Which
the
you
new
don't
models
know until it's over
You're
and
correct.
it's false.
You're correct. So all
See,
I care
know
about,
I'm right.
all I care about with polling, and the reason that I like it is because it's the best snapshot we get going into an election, even if it's flawed.
They're about as clear as your picture on the YouTube stream right now.
Maybe I'd understand it better if I
Right?
could see the
Our-
way you
our-
look a little bit better there in the
Our stream is a perfect representation of what polling is. It's a blurry picture.
Yeah, it makes you see what you want to have be seen, but not clearly.
Now, if you find that the same pollster is finding a trend, like they've always weighted the same way, and this is a good one, that they always weighted the same way. So they always have a 4-point lean to Democrats, for instance, and they find that overall the general electorate is moving leftward or rightward, then you can look at something like that and determine some outcomes.
Well, the other side of that is though too, whenever you're polling people, your sample size matters. And who your sample is matters. So if you want an accurate snapshot of a state, you need a sample size that's going to match the representation of the state. But the other side of that is too, you need to get a larger sample size, because if you got a smaller sample size, then one wrong person or one person that's just not right match will throw the poll way more than it will the other. That's why I'm just like, no, you can't with a poll. You can't look at a poll and say this is the way it's going to be.
No, and I don't do that. I look at trends. That's all I use them for.
But if you look at that and you know that what the trending information you get is suspect to begin with, do you really have anything to go on?
No, but it's like fantasy baseball. You can look at past representation
Useless.
as the best. Yeah,
it absolutely is.
Exactly.
You can look at what a player's done in the past to determine what they'll do, but it doesn't mean they'll do
A
that. But it's the
possibility
best
of what it is.
It's the best you got.
Yeah,
It's
which
the
is
best you got.
flawed.
It is flawed, but
Incredibly
find me
flawed.
something better, and I'll look at that.
We don't need something better.
We need something better.
But no, hold on, boys, gentlemen, men of a certain age. People, the problem here is not that they exist. The problem here is what the purpose of them is. The purpose of them isn't to inform three 40-something talk show hosts on a Friday afternoon on how to guide people and what's actually happening. The polls that are used to discuss things on conservative talk radio shows as much as anywhere else are used to gin people up like us to say, oh, everything's going our way, or to make people angry. It's a talking point that is put in front of people like us to sway the way the conversation goes. That's the problem. It's not that they exist, because listen, if you got to see the internal polling that was done in campaigns, they use those to change not necessarily what they're going to do, but how they're going to say it, because they want to change how you feel about things. They want to change how you talk about things. They find out specific words that poll better than other. It's a massive psychological manipulation of people in a way now as an industry to influence those who are influenceable. And most of us are, because most of us want more than anything to get this country back on track. And any single piece of detailed information that we can take and stick in the book that makes us think, oh, this country, maybe we're going to be able to do this, it makes us feel better. But it doesn't make us be better.
Right.
And they, capital T, the phrase that I hate, they know that. It's a tool of manipulation. And the reason why I say that the most is because on the big talking heads, on CNN, on MSNBC, on Fox as well, the people who talk the most about polls continue campaign after campaign after campaign to be on the TV using polls to influence people and their positions, and their polls are wrong, but they are never going away. Why? I mean, Karl Rove has been very wrong in the past. He's still there doing that. I can't name the names at CNN and MSNBC because I don't watch them and I don't trust them either. But the way that they take in this information, it's put out there to paint a picture. And it's to try to paint a picture that's going to motivate you to do something. It's not the existence of the polls that is the problem. It's how easily the American voter is manipulated by their existence for a cause that is paid for by somebody else. That's the thing that gets under my skin so much. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote. Do you like polls? Yes, love them. No, don't trust them. No, but the Annie Frey Show poll is fun. Remember, only based on the science here. Lots of comments coming in about this. Join the conversation by joining us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and let us know what you think. We'll feature some of them throughout the course of the show. When we come back, the bee or not the bee in Wiggins America.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan are helping buyers just like you be the most competitive person, putting in an offer on the house you want to make your home. If you get the Bagel Loan, you're going to pay nothing in fees that other lenders out there are going to charge you for. So call or text Stewie today at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440 and connect to Stewie to get the process started right now. There's another way Stewie can help you, though. And a lot of people are facing mounting credit card debt. You're not able to get ahead of your payments. I know a lot of people out there who are my age have some student loan payments resuming here shortly. And you're wondering, how am I going to do this? Everything costs so much. I'm making the same money I was making before, but I can't make ends meet. You might want to talk to Stewie about a mortgage refinance on your home to be able to take some of that equity that you've built up in your home out. And while mortgage rates are higher, it's going to be a lot lower than that, 30% rate on your credit card. Call Stewie and just ask him if he can help you. He's only going to do it if it's a good, sensible economic situation for you. And you can talk through it with him. Many Annie Frey Show listeners have. Don't feel bad about your situation. Just do something about it. Call Stewie, 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. I'm going to show you my 5 steps for making the perfect radio ad. This one's about innovation refunds and the ERC. First step, be relatable. As a small business owner, I know that filing for the ERC tax refund can feel complicated and confusing. Also, I like pizza and puppies. There, done. Step 2, cold hard info. The ERC, or Employee Retention Credit for long, is a tax credit for eligible businesses that kept employees on payroll in 2020 and 2021. So if you qualify, Innovation Refunds Network of Independent Tax Attorneys could help you claim it. Step 3, call to action. Go to innovationrefunds.com to get started. Step 4, the jingle I wrote myself. Actually, scratch that. Just go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS and go to step 5. Legal stuff.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how long your money will last? Are you also sick of worrying about losing your life savings in the next market crash? I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. Let us build your own personalized structured income plan, which will show you how much income you can receive in retirement, but more importantly, it will show you how long your money will last. Stop wondering if you have enough to retire comfortably.
Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategies you won't hear from your broker or banker. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping our clients retire with confidence for the past 37 years. Let us help you. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
Over 90,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 314-645-2000.
I'm not even on that whole time because I was on the wrong mic. I was doing the time check. Hey, you know what? The time, 12:43. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Not just right and left, right and wrong. We're discussing it every day on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey, baby, I think I want to marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I want to marry you. Well, I know this little chapel on the boulevard we can go. No one will know. Oh, come on, girl. Who cares?
Barely.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Am I on?
We're things are happening.
All right.
We have
If you're in your car, this has got to be so exciting for you.
what? I mean, there's a lot of professionalism that takes place in a time like this where you pretend you just try to make it smooth sailing.
Yeah.
But I think that's for the music people. I don't think that's for talk.
Yeah, I think we just got to tell you exactly what's on our minds at all times because that's what we do.
Yeah. And so right now we are working to get some microphones back online. And this is
Seems
one.
like it's working. All right.
So
Yes.
does Ethan have a mic?
I think Ethan should try mic 2.
Which one's that?
Mic 2 right here.
That's it right there.
Mic 2, mic 2?
Are we getting it?
All right, yeah. You want to jump over to mic 3 and see if that one works?
Jump. That was a stroll. That wasn't a jump.
Let me go back.
Yeah, start from there. Now hop.
Jump.
There he is. Ooh,
We
jump.
get anything?
We got him there too. So I've got
Gosh.
3 microphones working, and
Which is way more than before.
man, this feels like a Star Wars episode where it's like I'm going to reroute power around the blah blah
Does
blah
this feel
blah.
like flying the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, a
at
little
Disney
bit,
World
a little
where
bit, a little
Hondo's
bit.
yelling at you and Chewbacca's in the background doing a.
Yeah.
Can you do a Chewbacca?
Nah, it wasn't that great.
It
but
was better.
there.
I for a second thought for a second I should do a Chewie, and then that's like the rule in politics that you're not supposed to ever put on a hat if you're running for office.
Oh, really?
You're not supposed to wear a hat like
Why?
at an event because it'll be the picture people use.
Of you in a hat.
If you're at like a rodeo because you're chumming along and making friends,
Oh,
but you're
okay.
not that's not who you are. You wouldn't wear like the big, what do you call it? Not 9-gallon.
Yeah, 10-gallon hat.
10-gallon hat.
Yeah, I mean you have a small one.
Well, that's the
apparently.
problem. You look like you're wearing a 9-gallon hat, and everyone's like, supposed to be 10. And then when people campaign against you, they pull that image, and that you're not supposed to wear hats.
Like DeSantis in the boots. Like you're not supposed to wear rubber boots walking around.
No, he was trying to recover from a hurricane.
Yeah.
People should back the heck off of the boots.
See, I've always not Make America Great hat would defy that logic then. But I've always heard that it was eating. I've always heard that you're never supposed to eat in public because the picture of you will be you cramming a chili dog in your face.
That is not just reserved for politics.
Yeah, that's for everybody.
Ah,
Never eat in public.
that's another one that I defy.
Wiggins America? Are you prepared for this?
I think
I'm
I
ready.
can do this. Hold on. Here we go.
Wiggins! Oh, Wiggins! The question is, are you ready with all the bee sound effects? Because I've got all the stories ready to roll
What do
here.
you mean, am I ready? Why would I not be ready? I'm always ready and prepared.
The bee
No.
or not the bee.
Do a little talking to make it happen.
Filibustered into that.
That was professionalism.
You know, the
It was
fact
really
that it
good.
worked, we should just be happy with that.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing that we should do, though, is talk about all these things incessantly.
Yeah,
because
Steve's
that's what
like,
we're-
shut up.
Shut up and just do the show.
We're trying to. We keep talking
Yeah.
in the microphones and literally doing time checks that nobody can hear. What if they needed to know the time?
Somebody in St. Louis was like, if it's 12:46, my life is going to change in this moment.
Yeah.
And they were listening, and they were a little late
Mark
to a meeting that was going to change their life.
Mark says Annie Q and Dukakis in the tank helmet. See?
Yeah.
That's
Ah.
a
That was a
famous,
bad
famous.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's not right. You're doing it in the moment. Like the moment isn't the wrong thing. It's the this is forever thing that they get to dunk on.
What
you.
about a construction hard hat? And you're pointing at plans. You're like,
Well,
we're going to build this
Think
now.
think Mayor Pete in East Palestine, Ohio. He was in the yellow vest with the hard hat on with the khaki pants and thing, and people tore him to shreds for that.
It's true, but at least he's building back better.
Can we get him a camera on Ethan?
Yeah. I can
It's
do
just
that.
one more thing. Go, be the
All
match.
right, here we
Let's
go.
make it
These
happen.
are headlines. You
Our
got to tell me whether they're from the Babylon Bee, which would mean they were
favorite
satire, or you have to tell me if this is a real headline from this week. Here we go. Number one, rampant racism taking a toll on youth mental health.
I think that's real. What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah, that sounds too real to be the B.
If it isn't, it will be in a couple weeks.
The B can trick you because once in a while they'll throw a headline out like that, and then the story's
The content.
funny.
Yeah. Well, tell us.
All right.
What, Brad, do you want to participate since you fixed everything already?
Yeah, I think that is real.
Rampant racism taking a toll on youth mental health, an epidemic across the country. A growing field of research on online racism and its effect on young people shows racism and extremism in online gaming platforms are having detrimental mental and emotional health effects on those targeted directly or indirectly.
Did I hear that maybe I don't know if it's Call of Duty or something, but there's like a new, I just heard this and I thought it was nutso. And I just remembered that. Can you tell me?
There's like a report system now that if you experience racism, you can go in and report what was said in the chat. I believe that they're recording what's said in the chat, and they can go back to that game instance and verify that something was said, and then go and ban your account if they determine what you said was unacceptable.
And what are the parameters? I mean, I'm all for people not being able to be overtly racist anywhere.
Yeah, that I haven't seen the Xbox parameters or whatever.
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty is a game, but it's really any game that you're in a live chat on.
Is it an Xbox thing?
It might be Xbox. I think it's Xbox. No, or is it Call of Duty? And it's their platforms.
Yeah.
So there's there's cross-platform play in those, so you can play Xbox against PS5 and all that other stuff. And
but I mean, you think it's a Call of Duty initiative?
I think it is Call of Duty because Call of Duty is one of the worst for trash
Ethan,
talk.
do you play games?
Not Call of Duty.
Not Call of Duty.
But I can back him that it is one of the most intense.
Yeah.
As far as just the
Aggressive.
chattery going on between opponents can get pretty intense.
I think one of the best ways to eliminate racism is to monitor people's online activity instead of trying to change their hearts.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Wiggins.
Real?
It was a real story. Here's number 2. DOJ convicts Proud Boys of rioting for the wrong side.
I'm thinking that's got to be the B.
I feel like that's the B.
Yeah. The B.
Quote, let me be perfectly clear. We love rioting and lawlessness, but rioting that doesn't involve BLM, Antifa, or radical communist pedophiles throwing Molotov cocktails at small businesses will not be tolerated, said Attorney General Merrick Garland.
Oh.
In his charming, raspy voice. Quote, these sick criminals dared to riot on behalf of political causes we don't like, and for that, they must face severe justice. At publishing time, the DOJ had announced they would be indicting Trump again for calling the DOJ corrupt on Truth Social. That was the B.
How many times have you encountered a Truth Social post by Donald Trump not first on Twitter?
I don't know that I've ever encountered one first on Truth Social.
Okay, just asking.
Same.
Yet it's still worth money. It's still a viable platform.
Sure.
Did they complete that deal?
Oh, I don't know about
I know there was a deal, and if the deal fell through, it was done.
Truth?
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't heard this.
I think
let me pull up an article, but we'll talk about that after the break.
the B.
That was the B. This one, tell me whether you think this is the Babylon B or if it's real. Bud Light welcomes new investor Bill Gates with limited edition Jeffrey Epstein cans.
Oh,
That is the B.
I don't know.
It's a tough
Think
one.
about it before
It's a
you
tough
answer.
one.
You gonna go real?
Is it like milk carton stuff or
Kinda, yeah.
there's a story here,
Mhm.
and I don't know what fact. I never cared enough about it to read the actual story, so I'm gonna say real.
You're gonna say real. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably
Here's-
about a decision. What do you think, Ethan?
It's the B.
Okay, here's the story. Bill Gates purchased $100 million of public stock in Anheuser-Busch, believing his image could really help win back Bud Light's conservative customer base. Quote, I believe with just a few tweaks to the recipe, Bud Light is poised for a comeback, said Mr. Gates. Quote, we plan to kick things off by offering a free microchip with the purchase of a 12-pack.
What a way to turn around that toxic brand to make it literally toxic.
Doing a great job. All right, another story here. I think this is number 4. Israeli mentalist unveils photo of naked alien.
Israeli?
Yeah, this is real.
Israeli mentalist.
Yeah, I'm going to call this
type
real.
of scientist.
I know some of them.
Unveils photo of naked alien.
It's not on the nose enough to be the B. This is real.
Aliens are all the rage right now. I'm saying it's real.
Yeah, I'll back it. Real.
Guess you're right.
Yeah,
Yuri
naked
Geller.
aliens.
Yeah, Yuri Geller, apparently very well-known mentalist in Israel.
I saw it on the internet.
Claims that he has a photo of a curvy extraterrestrial.
Of course, it's curvy.
With prominent lady parts
What?
taken
Oh,
in the
man.
basement of an abandoned Mexican
Wait a
building.
second. Are we talking about the Canadian teacher?
No. No, other border.
Prominent lady parts.
Yeah, he said
Because that dude has prominent lady parts
he does.
too.
Yeah, he absolutely does. He said, quote, the prominent vagina is immediately
Oh.
evident when you see them naked,
This is a lot of information.
but it is not commented on in the UFO literature because very few people actually see them, especially naked. That's a real story.
Wow.
I'm sad.
All right, tell me if this one's real. Alien riding in the back seat of a car spotted on Google Earth.
I think it could be real. It doesn't have to be like a real alien. It'd be like a blow-up doll alien just hanging out in the so they could ride in the HOV lane.
No, I'm going to say this is the B.
I'm going real.
It is real.
Ah,
Crystal
yes!
Patterson was using the app to see where a garage sale would be taking place in Maine, and she navigated to the address. She noticed something very peculiar in a car driving in the area. It seemed like the driver was naked. So she zoomed in on it on Google Earth.
What did you Google to come up with these stories? Because we have a lot of nudity and aliens.
I'll tell you the truth. A lot of times if I'm looking for real stories, I just type in alien.
Good to know.
And you know what my other trick is? Just typing in the word racism and finding real stories. It actually only makes so she zooms in to see the driver is naked, but there's also an extraterrestrial being in the passenger seat of this PT Cruiser. All right. Tell me if this one is real or not. White House assures inflation is only affecting people who need to buy stuff.
I'm going all in on this one. Right?
You are correct.
Ethan, Brad?
Yeah.
Quote, yes, we are continuing to see rising prices across many industries, but we want the American people to understand that those issues are very limited in scope, said Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Quote, if you don't have to purchase food, clothing, transportation, or shelter to survive, none of this will affect you.
He's got a point.
The press pool then stood and cheered at this very encouraging news.
Hey, I got a question though. Let's go back here. First of all, Vicky says YouTube put Ryan back to blurry after that last story, the naked alien one. Wouldn't it be weirder if they showed up wearing like khakis and a polo?
Oh, yeah, like they were ready for
Like
barbecue.
you talk about an alien being naked. What if they came looking like ready for a nice night out? That would be weirder. That
Right.
would be a real. That would be
But like, why would we assume that an alien race has mastered interstellar travel, but not clothing?
Maybe they're crash landed here, Brad.
You know, Adam and Eve, they didn't wear clothes at first. Maybe they're still
not under
confident
the curse?
in their purity or something.
Maybe they're confident in their purity, Brad.
Ooh.
Just think about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, Pastor.
You're
What do you think
you're
about
blowing
that
my mind
one?
here.
I
What if it's only Earth that's under the curse?
Now we know where that nudist lake in Chicago thing came from. We'll be right back.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
I can't wait to go to Andrea's Steakhouse for my birthday. That's my plan. My birthday's next week, so I'm really looking forward to it. Any excuse to go there, we make them up sometimes. Honestly, I joke with my wife that she just makes up things to celebrate so that we can go do things like Andrea's Steakhouse, which we do as often as we can. If you've never been there, it's in Fairview Heights, O'Fallon, Illinois. You need to make it part of your next celebration, whether that be a graduation or a birthday or an anniversary. You will love not just the food, but the atmosphere. It is like no other. If you visit on the weekends, they'll have some flamenco guitar going on, just some background ambient music from a live musician to complement your steak. And your steak is going to be fantastic. They have a very small menu because they cook everything to perfection with their Andrea's steak sauce, patented steak sauce that you can pick up in grocery stores. But you can get that right now if you want to. Take it home. Make what would be close to an Andrea's Steakhouse steak at Andreas.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A U.S. Senator defends himself in a Georgia election probe. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham reacting to a newly released report showing a special grand jury recommended charging many more people, including Graham, in an election fraud case that eventually led to 19 people indicted, including former President Trump.
I think the system in this country is getting off the rails, and we have to be careful not to use the legal system as a political tool.
Graham says the questions he was asking and calls he made after the 2020 election were consistent with his job as a senator and then chair of the Judiciary Committee. The Trump campaign calls the Georgia case politically motivated. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is running for re-election. The 83-year-old California Democrat confirming it today. She stepped down as a Democratic leader when Republicans flipped the House last year. A Philadelphia police officer is now charged with multiple counts, including murder, over the shooting death of Eddie Irizarry, killed during a traffic stop last month.
Today, veteran Philadelphia police officer Mark Dial turned himself in. Authorities say Dial fatally shot Irizarry while he was sitting in his car after officers saw him driving erratically back on August 14th. Initially, the police department said Irizarry was shot outside of the vehicle after lunging at police with a knife. The department backtracked on that claim, though. The police commissioner said review of the officer's body worn cameras made it clear that what they initially reported is not what happened.
Fox's Christina Coleman. Prosecutors releasing the body cam footage today. Dial's attorney says he thought Irizarry had a gun. Ukraine's president urging allies to tighten sanctions on Russia in his nightly address, arguing there's been a pause on that front. This as G20 leaders, including President Biden, meet in India. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
What a great afternoon of weather around town, headed into the weekend. Mostly sunny skies, beautiful temperatures and humidity right around 80 degrees. So a lot of the time in the 70s. Tonight, clear, cool, 70s for evening plans, 58 for the low. Saturday, sunny and nice, 80 degrees, 55 Saturday night. And Sunday, sunny and nice again, near 80. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A people, a state of mind, all in one. It's Wiggins America, and it's every Saturday from 6 to 8 a.m. and Sunday evenings from 5 to 7. So stamp your passport. Wiggins America, 97.1 FM Talk.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Has anyone ever taken the time to help you at a point in your life when you were in desperate need? How did that make you feel toward the person that helped you? The word gratitude comes to mind. Hi, I'm Martin Winslow, founder and president of Bethlehem Christian Academy. Through the years, I've met so many children that have gratitude toward those who helped them through their child sponsorships. Currently, BCA has 2,000 students spread over 4 countries, full of children filled with gratitude toward those who've helped them. But there continues to be great need. BCA's ministry is transforming lives by feeding and educating poor and orphan children in some of the poorest places in Africa and South Asia. Here's how you can help. For just $36 a month, you can offer these kids hope of a better future, but more importantly, give them the opportunity to learn about Jesus. You can also join us on a mission trip to one of our several school locations overseas and meet the child you sponsor. Remember that feeling of gratitude you had toward the person who helped you out? Wouldn't you like to pass that feeling on to someone else? To find out more about how you can get involved with BCA's ministry, please visit bcaministries.com. That's bcaministries.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm now seeing Adams getting attacked by the left for being a mini Trump, for just recognizing the problem playing out in front of his eyes. And he's trying to sort of blame Republicans. they're not really saying the final thing out loud, which is they need to secure the border and then this will stop because they don't want to piss off their base. Because their base actually doesn't believe it. I don't want to know what's their definition of sanctuary.
Yeah.
Right. They're also happy with their sanctuary policies. What exactly do you think that means? Aside from we're not Republicans and we like immigrants, that it was virtue signaling. Now they are confronted with the actual consequences and they're like, whoa, we did not sign up for this. Wonderful lesson.
Guy Benson talking about New York City Mayor Adams, who has pushed back on this influx of migrants that they've had into New York City. They've got nowhere to put them. They're overflowing with these individuals. And now he's saying somebody's got to step up. We've all got to step up as New Yorkers and we got to solve this problem. And pushing back, I think that there are a lot of people on the right who are like, he should be more specific in his pushback. Well, that would be very advantageous to the political party on the right. But what you're seeing is an actual real reaction to the policies that are in place from the White House on our southern border, reaching the city of the biggest city in the country, New York City. And they're having to deal with it. And he's calling it out. Good for him for calling it out. Now, shift to Brandon Johnson, who's the mayor of Chicago. Check this out. This is a note he put out to the residents of Chicago. The city will have to make sacrifices, he said, adding the cost of not making those sacrifices would be far greater. Quote, these families are coming to the city of Chicago. If we do not create an infrastructure, we're able to support and quite frankly, contain these individuals who have experienced a great deal of harm, individuals who are desperate. If we do not provide support for these individuals and these families, that type of desperation will lead to chaos. There's a sacrifice that is going to be required in this moment. The sacrifices that we are prepared to make in order to ensure that this city is not chaotic and it is not riddled with desperate people. And I'm confident that we can do both, that we can make sure that we invest in people who have been marginalized in this city under previous administrations while also staying true to our values. Let's play a game called Trash or Treasure. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Trash.
Trash.
Total trash. He's telling the residents of Chicago, all right, you're going to have to make sacrifice in order to welcome these people, these marginalized people into our city. And it's interesting that the result of not making sacrifices and doing uncomfortable things, the alternative to not making those sacrifices is chaos. Mayor, this is chaos.
Yeah,
you are here already. Yeah. Your stupid, ignorant policies. You haven't been there long enough to have made all these policies, but you sure support them. Actually, you probably don't support everything that's in place. You probably wish it was far more left progressive. The people in your party have created a situation for this country where the chaos is at your doorstep, and your response to it is to ask the good people of the city of Chicago to sacrifice for it. Barf. Trash.
Look, in and of itself, asking people to sacrifice, no matter what position you're in, is not always a bad thing. In fact, usually it's a good thing. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask for what you can do for your country.
For your neighboring countries?
That's the message from JFK. But what he is saying is, we have made bad decisions. We're now asking you to sacrifice to fix them.
He's not saying they've made bad decisions.
No, you're right. He's not even acknowledging that they've made bad decisions. But it is because of their poor choices and not even still acknowledging those choices that he's saying, you know what, things are bad because of us. Maybe I'm not going to say that, but it is bad because of us. It's on you now to make it better. That is a terrible, terrible message. And that is exactly what he's saying.
I just cannot understand the balls it takes to say something like that to the people, like Chicago. Revolt.
It's
Don't take it.
It's reminiscent of like Soviet Union stuff where the goes in and for the good of the party, for the good of the people, you have to sacrifice and we have to get through this together. It's very communistic in its tone.
You're right.
And the thing that really tops it off, it's not the worst part of it, it's not the least of it though, is the arrogance to say that to those people as if it's like, here's what you're going to have to do. That's what happens when you surrender all of your freedom and liberty for someone who says we're going to provide you for security. Mm-hmm. How secure do you feel in the city of Chicago? I'll tell you how secure I don't feel in the city of St. Louis. And these are kind of sister cities when it comes to crime-ridden streets where it doesn't matter what time of day is, whether the sun's up or the moon's out. You are not safe when you're just walking around the streets of downtown St. Louis. You have to have your head on a swivel all the time. Swivel.
That's fine. Swizzle stick.
PB swizzles that I get.
You're sitting here thinking about that, aren't you?
Smoothie King, but with no peanut butter, add honey, extra granola.
Yeah, you got to have your head in a swizzle bowl.
I wish I did right now.
Me too. Face first.
Trash or treasure?
Trash or treasure? Yeah, let's do trash or treasure. I'm going to do trash for Brandon Johnson. As a politician.
She was asking for a
a new person.
Let me show you how this works.
Yeah. Hey, Brad, trash or treasure?
Let's go with Britney Spears.
Ryan?
Treasure.
I like her. Treasure.
I'm rooting for her.
Yeah, I don't want her to fail.
You go, oh man, I think she's really been destroyed by fame, and you go, oh, that's sad.
I don't. How old is she? She's a few years older than me.
I think she's the same age as me.
Yeah, you are
41,
she's close
42.
to us. Yeah.
41. So I think maybe was she born? Yeah, she's 41 years old. December 2nd, 1981. I like her. I'm rooting for her. Yeah, I'm not gonna call her trash.
National
I know
treasure.
why people would call her. I know why people would say that, but I don't have any investment in her demise.
No, not at all. Nor does she in ours. I think she's just trying to make it.
Ryan, trash or treasure?
Sarah Palin.
Ooh. I'll go first.
You go first.
Trash.
I would say treasure. I like Sarah Palin. I think that the big mistake she had was hooking that wagon to John McCain. That's not who Sarah Palin is and was. I wish she would have been able to accomplish what I thought she was going to.
At the time, I would have voted for her for president but ever since she didn't win that election, she has done nothing to push the conservative cause at all. She's just become a joke. I would say trash. It's weird calling people trash. I don't mean trash.
I know.
It's like you're public.
Yeah.
It's more like what you've done publicly, not you as a person.
Come up with another T word. TR word.
Trickster.
Trickster. I got one. Chris Christie.
Trash.
Treasure.
Treasure. You think he's trash?
I don't like that guy.
If he wins the nomination.
If he wins the nomination
against, and
he's like treasure.
Is there a scenario where Chris Christie is the Republican nominee and you don't vote for him?
Not really. Unless there's some viable third party candidate that's awesome. And I mean viable, because it's got to be they can win. I voted for Mitt Romney and I didn't like the guy, so I would probably vote for Chris Christie against Joe Biden.
I didn't dislike Mitt Romney when he was running against Barack Obama. It's funny to me that Mitt Romney is the Ken doll of Republican candidates for president, that we get Mitt Romney, who is it's the carve out of what you think you want when you put a Republican up to win the presidency. Obama beats him in re-election, and people did not expect that to happen, which is what I'm worried about right now. People thought Obama would lose because everything wasn't going great. Obamacare had just been put into place. The midterms, Barack Obama got spanked in the midterms. People didn't think that was going to happen. Mitt Romney came out and dominated the first debate and made Obama look kind of foolish. And then it just was kind of the slow descent that ended up in Mitt Romney losing. And then you get Donald Trump. It's funny to have like peak conveyor belt Republican candidate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think he's treasure. Chris Christie. I think I would do a lot of things for Chris Christie as the governor of Illinois. I know it's but okay.
Agree there.
So you'd be a treasure.
Shoot, I'd take a middle Democrat as the governor of Illinois. Shoot, come on, girl.
I was going more like Mater.
Oh, okay. So like Rusty Truck.
Brad, trash or treasure? This is just hard.
Let's make this
hard today.
Let's make this one real local. Ollie Marmol.
Oh. That's too local. That's not answering it.
I don't have any problem with Ollie Marmol. Treasure.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean treasure on him.
I don't know if he has the tools to be successful.
You're right.
So I'm not going to call him trash. That's for sure. Let's try not to put people in this game that we might run into.
Brad's dad.
Hi.
How about I got one here.
Go.
Loki.
Loki.
As in from the Marvel franchise.
Trash.
Trash or treasure?
Treasure. I love Loki.
I like Loki too, but I still think he's trash.
Are we supposed to debate? I didn't know we were doing fictional characters. You know he's not
now
real,
you
right?
Know. Now you know.
You said Loki, and I had to go through all the different ways you could say that to make sure were we talking about Avengers?
Yeah, we are.
Taylor Swift.
I thought she might be on this list.
Trash.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, and I don't like her politics. I'm going to say trash.
I don't like her attitude.
What is wrong with her attitude?
Smarmy and smirky and arrogant and mean. She's a mean girl.
Smarmy.
Holy cow! I don't think any of those are accurate.
That's just a front she puts on. She's a mean person.
Ooh.
I don't think she's any of those things. Why do you think she's that way?
Because I watch her and the way she talks about people and the way she treats people, and she's like,
who does she treat that way?
Anybody that doesn't go along with what she says she thinks should happen.
Like you're give me an example of something that makes you feel like that.
Every song about an ex-boyfriend. Every song about an ex-boyfriend. And it seems like an album follows a boyfriend. She has a boyfriend, they break up, she writes an album, and then she's like that. And then she's
and
like,
you're mad at her about it?
Yeah, and I'm mad at her about that. I'm mad at her about making herself into a victim whenever she signed a contract with these record labels. And then she's like, they treated me unfairly, so I'm just going to remake everything.
It's genius.
It's what she did.
Genius.
But
genius.
she signed the
Sign
contract.
So
you don't get to sign the contract and then go back and say they treated me unfairly.
I don't know. I think you can do all of those
She
things.
did all of it. You certainly can.
But I don't think that she's a hero for doing that because she didn't read or understand the contract when she signed it.
If she
I like those points too, Brad.
No, I think they're terrible points. I think Brad's wrong about Taylor Swift and you're delusional about polls.
I also think Taylor Swift hates men.
Be careful. We might run into her. She's one of those people.
With Ollie
She
Marmol.
hates me already.
Her next boyfriend is Ollie Marmol.
I think that you feel personally attacked by Taylor Swift.
No.
Is this personal?
No. She's never written a song about me.
I think her third album might have been about me.
Which one was that?
That
Lover?
was Eras.
That's
Eras.
not an album. I don't think it might be. I don't think it is.
That was
That's the name of the
What
tour.
You Made Me Do.
That is Revolution, maybe? I don't know. I run to that album.
Keep track. After we broke up, I just don't even talk about it.
So when you were single, she'd have been about 4.
We dated while I was married. Is that better?
I mean, probably. if we're just comparing the two between infidelity and 4-year-old. Ryan Wiggins, trash or treasure?
Trash.
No.
Trash. How about Volodymyr Zelensky?
I think he's trash.
Yeah, I think he's trash too.
Is that a question? Do you like him? You're a fan?
Well,
when did you date him?
He's a hero. You know, I mean, everybody tries to make him into this plucky, frontline hero. But the country was very, very corrupt before this war. So I can't say he's a treasure.
I've got one. Let's go with Kirsten Sinema. I
think she's a treasure. I don't agree with her on a majority of her points. I do think I agree with her maybe on her idea of good government as a system a little bit more than other people on the Democrat side of the aisle, but she's not trash. I mean, I would have to be convinced that someone was trash. I would default treasure on pretty much all these.
I'll go with, man, that's a good one. I'll say trash because she, for the most part, votes with Democrats, and I disagree with her votes.
So just because someone votes with Democrats, they're trash?
Publicly, not as a person, as we've said before, but everything she does publicly, she tends to vote for things I don't agree with.
She left the Democrat Party.
Yeah, she did. I like that. I like some of the stand up to the Democrat Party she's
you
done.
seem super
But
jaded
for
and
the most
angry,
part,
Taylor Swift.
Most for the most
Yeah, you
part,
do.
she caucuses with Democrats, and I disagree with her votes.
I think she's a treasure because she marched to a beat of her own drum, and she went into office
So do
saying
her clothes.
This is who I am, and this is what I'm going to be, and she hasn't deviated from that, and I can respect that.
So if I listed any Democrat here, you're just by definition calling them trash.
Yeah, because I don't agree with the way they vote.
So they're trash.
I got one for him. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Treasure.
Oh, he's
God,
Democrat.
Lord have mercy.
Put him on the record. See how he votes. He's not on the record. That's the thing.
I can't with this guy.
He's a Democrat, and he votes like a Democrat. A 1960s, 1980s era Democrat, but he's still a Democrat.
Taking it on. He's taking on the system. I love it.
I hate it. I hate this. I hate it.
Is this how you picture this segment going? Is there anybody else that we have to say?
There's a name we have to get to.
Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Trash.
I don't know who he is, so I'm just going to default to your opinions and agree.
I don't know enough about him, but what I know about him, I think he's total trash.
Yeah, I don't like the guy. I've listened to some of his stuff, and he makes good points on certain areas, and he takes it about 80% of the way. He talks about the importance of being a good man or a provider for your family and all this other stuff.
Is he a good man?
But he's not.
Then he's trash.
Right. So he gets like 80%. He identifies the problem correctly, but then his solutions are awful because he tells men to give up on being a husband. Don't be a father, go your own way. He owns a website. Like, he made his money with cam girl websites. And that was where the whole controversy and the reason he got arrested.
Is that like OnlyFans?
Yeah, just cam. Yeah. You log on to the website and these girls perform cam shows for you.
But his message is to be a good man?
Exactly.
What?
I don't think that you can say, I would say that there are Republicans who would vote the same way that I would vote or think from a policy standpoint the way I would, that I would still 100% call trash. And I think that Andrew Tate's probably a good example of that. If he says some things that out of context of who Andrew Tate is fit my worldview, that in no way, shape, or form has anything to do with the kind of human that they are. In the same way that if somebody says some things that I disagree with on a policy standpoint, I would never look at that person and go, well, you're trash to me. I don't understand where on Andrew Tate on a political, and again, I don't know the whole about him, but I don't like what I know. So I don't really want to dig deeper into it because I'm not a fan of what I do know. And what I do know, I don't feel like I'm going to dig deeper and be like, yeah, it makes the other things okay.
Yeah. What my biggest problem with him is he has identified a very real issue and a very real problem, and he has started reaching to those people, to those young men that are suffering from those real issues, those real problems, the way society has treated them and all that stuff. But he's leading them in a path that isn't the correct way. So he gets you there, and it's just like any other lie. It gets you there with 90% truth, and then the last 10% veer you off. When I look at what Andrew Tate says about things, I'm like, okay, that's right. And he's like, and therefore you should do this. I'm like, no. So I don't like him because he's taking an entire generation of young men and he's leading them astray. He's teaching them under the guise of what being a man is and not making them men. He's making them something worse. So that's why I don't like him.
Why do you like him so much, Ryan?
I will say, if
what
that's
do you
all,
know about him?
If that's all true about him, then he is identifying a problem in America and maybe the world that is very, very true and needs a solution badly. Young men so badly crave leadership right now. They crave and I don't even want to use the word father figure, just a male role model,
mentorship
in their life, because it's so lacking. And I'm talking about in decent families, but sometimes because the dad's absentee in the family. My pastors right now are fielding that role. You would know this. Pastors are fielding that role in young men's lives like never before. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing that pastors are stepping into that. It's bad that we need it.
Yeah. It's a bad thing that pastors have to step into that role.
Yes.
It's a shame that there aren't men that are leading young men, but that's something, and that what you're talking about church, that's something that my church is trying to do, is trying to mentor the next generation. The men that have, for lack of a better term, figured out life are still working on helping those that are younger. You know, you mentor people and you help them grow.
BBC article from this summer, thanks to crack producer Ethan. Controversial influencer Andrew Tate has been charged in Romania with rape, human trafficking, and forming an organized crime group to sexually exploit women. Trash.
That actually is the stuff I know about him.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I know.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
He can say all the right political things, but gross. That's doesn't prioritize anybody over that. All right, let's take a quick break. Ask us anything. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and leave a comment with a question for the show, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. Ethan's going to come join us for this as well. Don't go away.
That I was wrong. And I've been so
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Cause if you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself.
Gateway ENT. You find them online at gatewaydoctors.com. That's gatewaydrs.com. One of the oldest private practice ear, nose, and throat groups in the St. Louis area, in the metropolitan area, West County, Sunset Hills, Festus. They've been around for over 40 years. And when you go to Gateway ENT, they have a team of ENTs there. Dr. Hardiman has been a guest on our show many, many times. He's one of the ENTs at Gateway ENT. But each of the ENTs are at the pinnacle of ENT care for people exactly like you with the issues that you're facing. Maybe it's something that's newer that's come up, but I've talked a lot about those throat concerns or maybe some ringing in your ear that you might have, difficulty breathing, difficulty hearing. When you go to gatewaydrs.com, you are going to be their focus. You are going to be in a position to be cared for before any other system is adhered to. They want to give you the best ENT care that can be provided in the St. Louis area, and people seek them out from all over the bi-state region. They're more cost-effective and convenient, and a convenient alternative to ENT practices that are employed by large hospital systems. So give them a chance to help fix your issue. And I'm going to tell you, you call this number, you're going to get in quickly to see one of the doctors. 314-843-3828, 314-843-3828, gatewaydrs.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. And if you're a tech person, you know that's a big deal. I'm not a tech person, but I did look it up. Without this certification, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a censor button. Check it out. So now you won't know my date of birth is or that my social security number is. The password to my bank account is Ty's Cool Password 1. Uh-oh. The button's broken. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Don't wait. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started. Oh, a notification from my bank. Wait, I didn't buy a boat.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Mr. Mike Elam pinch hitting as I'm out for just a couple of days. He'll handle the Reardon Roundtable Friday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people, making music for the people.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I wanna magnify your light. I wanna reflect the sun. Cut like precious diamonds with colors by the millions. This is the only world we know, and for now this rental's our home. If we gon' be a reflection, gotta make this dirt rock glow. Just so you know.
Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people to illuminate the show. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people.
What's with the look in your eyes, Ryan? Is this
Like,
you on this song?
sultry. Yeah, I'm the female part. Toby Mac and I collabed.
What's your stage name?
Ooh, I like this question.
Rockmouth. Because I
Did you
bring
just
it.
say rock mouth?
Yeah, because I bring it
Uh-huh.
from my mouth.
I would hope so. What are the alternatives?
I don't play instruments.
How are you hitting those notes?
Yeah.
There's a lot of processing. I could not do it now because it would not sound like that.
Because of the mic quality.
Yeah, you're having mic issues, you know.
I know
Not
all
going
about
through
it.
Yeah, if you can tell, there's a little bit of mic issues still happening to me today. I sound a little low. But but that is me on that song. And that's just one of I talked to Toby Mac several times. He probably remembers me from my Christian music days. And I contacted him and I said, "You want to collaborate?" And he said, "Let me hear what you sound like." And I sent him back that clip and
how
he
you
just
said-
sampled it into that song.
I'm sitting here.
Christian music days, which is just left for interpretation for the people who are listening. We're just gonna throw that out there.
Actually, it says alternate ego. Actually, rock mouth.
Rock mouth. What's your
Rock
stage
mouth.
name? Mandisa.
That's not Mandisa.
Medusa.
No, that's not Mandisa. I would have said that if that were Mandisa, but that is not. That is me. That is Rockmouth.
Ethan is joining us in studio. He's been filling in as we have parted ways with Hannah because she went and moved on up to be the co-host of the Y98 morning show. So Ethan has been here. He's been doing a fantastic job and we've been grateful to have him in here. Ethan, a very public thank you for all of the reliable work you've provided.
Well, thank you for the thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do that forever. Well,
We
thank
could,
you.
We really could.
Thank you.
Well,
Privately, I'm
thank
going to
you.
continue to snub you.
So he's going to join us for Ask Us Anything.
You have to ask me nicely. Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
I'm going to ask the first question. What is the dream job for all of us? Ethan gets to go first.
Play-by-play for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
what else is part of your current job right now? Like
I'm also the booth assistant for the St. Louis Cardinals, the radio booth assistant. So a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of stat providing, updating of in-game information for
assisting.
them. Yeah.
If you're ever listening to the game and you hear a big thank you to Ethan Hannaford, our booth assistant, that's this one.
That's Ethan.
That is this one. It's the same one.
Yeah.
Two places at once.
I hope this isn't a step backwards in your dream pursuit.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's
Not
he's
at
the
all.
booth assistant for the
I'm working
Cardinals
with
in the same way
Rockmouth.
that
Are you
I'm.
kidding me? This
Yeah,
is
I
an
was
honor.
just going to say.
It's an honor.
He's the booth assistant in the same way that I'm on that Toby Mac song.
No, he actually is. Don't be rude about it.
He's making all that up.
Rockmouth, dream job.
It's going to be a combination of doing this and writing for screen. So I would like to, from noon to 3, do this job.
This is part of your dream job.
I love this. It's fun. It's great.
Brad.
Just to come in here and do this. Hopefully sound good, which I mostly do.
Well.
And then leave and write for screen in the morning and the afternoons, late afternoons.
Brad?
I don't want to sound ungrateful in the way I'm saying this, but I really, really like this job. So my dream job is something like this,
but
better. Bigger. So,
and somebody else in the host chair and that guy over there to work with a real Rockmouth. Maybe even Toby Mac.
I don't know. I think it would be really cool to help you build this show into something that is national, something that people say, oh, the Annie Frey show, and you could go anywhere and they know it or they recognize your voice.
I love that. My dream job is probably that.
Yeah. That sounds
or
great.
I get canned from here, which is kind of the way radio goes.
Yeah.
And I want to retire to Disney. I want to retire to Florida. And my husband talks about driving the boats. the transportation boats in retirement. He's a teacher right now. And he's like, what would your retirement Disney job be? And I'm like, hey, I don't think I would have one. I think I would just like to go.
You would just, on his coattails, just go to Disney.
On his
day.
Disney boat captain coattails. But I like helping people plan their trips. I like giving knowledge to people who are going. I don't know that I really want to be a travel agent. I just like helping people that way. So, but this is it.
Yeah.
My dream's probably the same as Brad's.
In that vein, I would like to be a ride tester.
I don't know.
Brand new ride.
I don't know.
We need somebody who's just an average Joe.
You haven't thought that through.
No. It's all happening now.
You don't want to be a ride tester.
Well, once the ride has been deemed safe
by the ride testers,
by the Imagineers, then they were like, we need an average person. Who's a super average person? And I would have to hide a lot of my accomplishments and then step into that role.
Wow, there's no average person.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want to be a ride tester. I want to be you've tested this thing 1 billion times, right? Have you put Wiggins on it yet? Okay, fine, now I'll ride.
You can go after me. That's fine.
Okay.
I would have to hide the fact that Rockmouth was the 4th member of DC Talk.
You Jesus freak. Oh, man. There are people who get that. Brad, you got a question?
I got one from Vicky here, from our chat. She says, do you have a favorite item you just can't part with? Something like a spoon or something.
I have a
spoon.
Pen, etc.
I have no strong affinities for any spoons.
I have no utensils that I feel that strongly about.
But you're heartless.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I am heartless in the same vein.
Their favorite utensil, but I just know.
I have from Kmart. They used to have at the end of the Kmart checkouts these chains that would hang down at the end around Christmas time and New Year's. They'd have these big white stuffed bears, and they'd have a red hat on it, and it'd have the year on it. And I have one of those, and the hat said 1987, but the tag on the bear, I think, says 1985. So I guess they just keep making the same bear and change the hat, of course, according to the years. But that is a bear. I was born in 1984. So that was a bear that I had my whole life, and I still have it in my house. And it's always in the way. I don't use it for anything, and I still have it, and I can't get rid of it. And it just gets relocated out of the way in my house, but I'm never getting rid of it.
I've got something similar to that.
The hat said 1987, but the foot said 1985 all the way.
So anyway, the very first car that I ever bought was a 1987 Porsche.
You snuggle with it?
No. I fell asleep one time holding its muffler, but
what?
Yeah.
Did the hat on the Porsche say 1987?
It was off the car, and I was just bought it, and I came home and I sat down in the chair, and I had it sitting on me, and I was reading some literature, and I fell asleep holding the muffler.
I'd fall asleep reading that literature.
So
too.
it's but I've had
literature.
it, and I was
Reading
16
Flannery
when I
O'Connor.
bought it. Could not afford to drive it. It broke, and I haven't been able to afford to fix it since then.
So
but
it's
I still
still there?
have it. It's in my garage, taking up space, and I can't part with it.
That is super manly, Ryan.
I sat down to read Tale of Two Cities, and I fell asleep next to my muffler. It's super identifiable. Who are these people? Did you ask a question, or you're asking me to ask a question?
Spoon.
My favorite spoon is the one that was in my mouth when I was born.
I thought you were going to say
silver.
is the next one that I eat off of. And do you have any favorite item you can't part with?
Not really. Well, actually, there's a little treasure chest from when I was a kid that I keep in my room that I don't ever use, but my kids are so obsessed with it. They'll be like, "Dad, can we get out the treasure chest?" And it's just got old knickknacks in it, like a penny that's been run over by a train. You know, like when you're a kid, you're like, "Wow, it's amazing."
I bet you though that there are things that you held on to longer than you need to that are sentimental to you because of your children.
Now they are.
Toys.
And that little box has become that because they view it with this childlike awe that apparently I once did too, and I kept it. But it's got that in it, and it's got a star from when Hardee's used to have the star like thing on your antennas. Remember that?
Yeah, Jack in the Box
One of
started
those
that.
things. And then I've also got just an Ozzie Smith head from one of those little
Bobbleheads?
no, not the bobbleheads. It was
Something way weirder than
Funko
that.
Pops.
No.
It's way. Are you okay? Come back. Are you okay?
I can't remember the name of those things. Starting lineup figures. Remember those?
No.
Yes.
Yes,
So
thank you.
I've got an Ozzie Smith one doing a backflip.
Yes.
Well, he has the head.
And you must have the body.
And the head's
'Cause I've
attached
just
to
got
it.
the head.
Ethan, anything you have that you can't part with?
Nothing too crazy. My dad won a 99. It was a football signed by the entire roster of the 99 St. Louis Rams.
Oh, cool.
So I've had that on my dresser ever since I can remember. That'll be hard to get rid of. Would it be hard to ever get rid of?
Yeah,
Especially
don't
that,
ever
you
get
know,
rid of it.
They're non-existent now in St. Louis, but
Well,
I don't really. I mean, a couple baseballs, probably signed baseballs. Besides that, nothing too crazy.
all right, let's take a quick break. We got more questions to answer in the chat. If you would like to ask us one, go ahead and put it in the Andy Fry YouTube chat, and we'll get to a few more when we come back. Today's YouTube live chat poll is: do you like polls? Yes, you love them. No, you don't trust them, or no, but this AFS poll is fun. You can go to the Andy Fry YouTube channel and vote there. We'll be right back.
Anytime you see the sparkle in the dark, you might look deeper. It might be more
This
than
is
simply
the
fear.
Andy
Yo,
Fry
the smile
Show.
might be joy that's connected to the spirit. The spirit might be
Follow
contagious.
Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Can't forget, peace that you can't second guess. Sparkle as the light reflects. We write and pay it forward checks.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Music for the people to illuminate the show. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people, making music for the people. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people to illuminate the show. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people, Jesus, music for the people.
AirComfortService.com if you were looking to improve your HVAC. Don't snort. Don't snort.
Oh my God.
This is a professional situation right now, Ryan Wiggins. Air Comfort Service is there to help you with all of your HVAC needs, your cooling needs, your heating needs, and also your insulation needs. But they could put a whole house humidifier into your home, which is really going to help you out when it comes to that much, much drier air that's going to set in soon. We're just a few days away from the official end of summer. And as that cool air comes back to the Midwest, you want to make sure that you have that humidifier, that whole house humidifier, installed into your house so that you can prevent those uncomfortable experiences that can happen from cold, dry air, like nosebleeds. We have that. My son specifically gets nosebleeds all the time in the winter, dry, cracked, and itchy skin, static shocks, wood furniture and floors can even crack when the air in your house is super dry. Air Comfort Service has a solution for that. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Whole home humidifiers are installed near your furnace, so moisture is distributed through your ductwork into every area of your home. It adds moisture to the air in your home, and it can eliminate all of those uncomfortable things we talked about. Give them a call. Mention the Annie Fry Show when you do. 314-513-0091. AirComfortService.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. No one should be injured or be the victim of assault when using a rideshare service. These companies need to be held accountable.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-900,000 to learn more.
Mark Cox here, inviting you to join me for Freedom Fest on September 15th at Sugar Creek Winery in Defiance. It's going to be a great celebration. Tickets are just $50. Get yours now while they last at stcharlesgop.com. That's stcharlesgop.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisor Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. I have many female clients and widows that don't fully understand their investment choices. Would you like a retirement review and a second opinion on your current retirement plan? Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying, and would you like to learn how you can avoid those fees? Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees for the past 37 years. Let our family help your family. So go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
If you woke up with a muffler, or if you slept with a muffler, if you fell asleep watching,
It's right there on the screen, Ryan. Read it.
if he slept with a muffler, I bet he woke up exhausted. 1:48 in St. Louis. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Are we one of your top presets? You were giving off that vibe, so if you want to take it to that level.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Nailed that one.
That's what I do.
That was from Bro on our YouTube channel with a good muffler joke.
Yeah, it was solid. I actually looked up other muffler jokes to see if I could beat that one.
This one was the best.
They're all the same punchline. There are many versions of that joke. Barely slept last night. Kept dreaming about mufflers. I'm exhausted. Used to install mufflers, but I recently quit. It was too exhausting. They're all the same thing.
You can deliver them now, though.
A little more Ask Me Anything before we turn it over to the 2 o'clock hour and X's and O's. We got special guests for X's and O's, right?
Yes, we do.
It's our first listener X's and O's.
Yeah, this should be fun.
This is going to be very exciting.
Are we ready?
You have the questions.
I'm sorry.
He looked at me and nodded. And I'm like, I'm going to nod back at you. Is this our first show?
It feels like it.
It feels like it.
Lori Feltz wants to know, do any of you have a favorite season? And if so, what is it?
I feel like we answer this one every once in a while, and I feel like while I love fall and autumn, I like clothes in the winter. I like snuggling up in nice, warm, cozy clothes. I like Christmas. I like the beginning of spring when everything gets warmer. I think that summer is the Saturday of the week, which everyone says they love Friday, but no, you really love the fact that Saturday is almost there. If you could have all Saturdays, that would be the best. I think if you could have all summers, that would be the best. So I think summer is the best. Understand my logic?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to say, show me fall, Richard Karn, my favorite host of that show.
Al?
Yep.
Okay.
Fall.
Fall? Why?
Oh, the stuff that comes along with fall. I love that. The temperatures in spring and fall are the best. So right there, you already got those two. But all of the... I don't know. It feels like you're moving towards something new. Your Christmas is still ahead.
Everything's dying, and you feel like you're moving towards something new.
Yeah. It's a season of renewal. Fall.
I don't think so, but okay. It's not my favorite, but it can be yours. Ethan, what do you think? Best season?
Well, yesterday morning, I woke up and I got ready to come and hang out with all you wonderful people, and I left my house and I stood outside and I said to myself, this is the reason that this is the best season. It just was what is 65 when I got out, and it was just perfect weather to associate with that. It's like you get that weather and automatically whether there's one around, you just like magically smell a bonfire and you know that football's close.
Yeah.
Football's here. And that is just a wonderful combination of things.
I've had that thought before.
Nostalgic feeling as well growing up around that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's cool when Ethan says it, but when Ryan says it's stupid, everything's dying.
Well, it's more of the phrasing.
Yeah.
Brad?
Mine is summer, and it's because I like everything that comes along with summer, be it boating, going to the lake, swimming. One of my favorite things is whenever I'm cooking on the back grill or whatever, I'm right by a park and I can hear kids playing baseball and all of that stuff going on. And it's really fun whenever you hear the aluminum bat ping sound, and then all the family and all they start cheering and all that other stuff. And that's just some 11 or 12-year-old out there just having the time of his life. So I really like the summer.
I like Bobo's question here on the YouTube. Do you collect anything?
Spoons.
Do you?
No.
People do. I don't understand that. Brian, are you a collector of anything?
Memories with my family. But as far as tangible things go, yes, I actually collect Dr. Pepper memorabilia.
Do you really?
I do. I have a closet full of it.
Why?
I don't know. I thought it was fun when I
never come out.
when I was about 30 years old. I think what happened was I visited. So Wichita was where my in-laws were from.
Wichita.
Yep. And that was the very
Sister
top
city
of where Dr. Pepper kind of originally distributed when it first came out. And so you could find cool stuff at antique malls there, which I would do while we were there because we had nothing else to do. And so I started collecting it there. And then I visited Texas, and somebody from there who I know sent me this huge collection of bottles and stuff that he found at antique stores. And so I have this huge collection. I don't know.
Why do you just keep it in your closet, though?
I don't know what to do. I keep thinking at some point
you can open up a museum,
do a bar and like a Dr. Pepper bar. But it's a huge project. I've never done it.
Yeah. What do you?
I like to collect old signs, and when I say like metal signs, could be for
petrol signs,
American battery stickers. Signs,
yeah.
Automobile manufacturers. I like road signs, street signs, especially if it's like my last name on the sign or something like that. I like to collect that sort of thing.
Ethan, do you actually collect anything?
Yeah, I have a decent amount of Cardinals memorabilia. If you couldn't tell from the appearance, I do have
He's repping all the time.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, I am.
Anything specific about the Cardinals or just anything?
I have a decent amount of autographed pieces, but honestly, I mean, if we rewind a couple of years and we go to senior year of high school, my room in the basement, I mean, it didn't have wall space, it didn't have ceiling space. I mean, there was stuff, Cardinal stuff everywhere.
Do you your autographs, did you get them or will you buy autographs?
I will not buy autographs.
I respect that.
It takes away
what's the point of buying an autograph?
It takes away the special feeling of like, I think the coolest part of getting an autograph is it's a way to remember
it's an experience.
The meeting of that person. So
it's proof that you met the person.
Yes, exactly.
And if I don't understand buying autographs. Not unless it's for maybe a charitable event,
or if
and
it's someone that like passed away or something like a Stan Musial or someone like that, like maybe, but no, they're just too expensive.
Yeah, they are super expensive. RSG asks, what's something you cannot understand the popularity of? Ryan, can you think of anything, or Brad, anybody chime in here? Anything that just shocks you that people are into it?
Taylor Swift.
I knew that was coming up. I actually, it's almost the converse of it. I am so interested in Taylor Swift as an enterprise. I like her music. I have no problem with it. I would not go have a spiritual experience if I went to the tour. I would never spend that kind of money to go to the tour. But I just look at what she's been able to build on her own. And, I understand that she writes a lot of her songs and they're about ex-boyfriends or whatever, but she really is kind of playing in a man's world and she's winning it. So I just think I just think it's awesome. So I like watching it, but I don't even I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie. Some people might.
Honestly, I would say podcasts. I just don't. I know that that's not something I should say in this industry.
Or company.
Yeah. And not necessarily from the listening side, but how everybody wants to have one. I do a radio show and we all are on the radio. So I guess
we also have a podcast
that it becomes a podcast. But I don't know that I would want to create a podcast from nothing. And I know so many people who want to do that. I just don't know what the attraction is.
I think that the cool thing about what we get to do for a living, which is live and local radio, is that everything is on demand right now, that it's actually unusual for you to be able to tune in and listen to people who are talking to you right now, which is why I think radio is great. X's and O's with some listeners when we come back.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years, Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO, easy to remember phone number, or go online today at 877-25rhino.com.
Hi. This is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
KKM from the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Who wasn't indicted in Georgia? Lisa Brady, Fox News. Before 19 people, including former President Trump, were charged with illegal efforts to overturn the 2020 election, a special grand jury in Georgia recommended that 39 people be charged, including a U.S. senator, responding to the grand jury's report.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham says he was doing his job when he called Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger shortly after the November 2020 election. Raffensperger has said Graham asked him about whether he had the power to reject certain absentee ballots.
What I did was consistent with my job as being a United States Senator, chairman of the Judiciary Committee.
Graham was one of 75 witnesses to testify before the special grand jury last year.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, a now former police officer, is charged with murder and other counts in the killing of 27-year-old Eddie Irizarry, who was shot during a traffic stop last month. Fired Philadelphia officer Mark Dial, surrendering earlier today to face the charges.
Philadelphia's District Attorney Larry Krasner played the body-worn camera footage to reporters from 2 officers on scene, including Dial, who does yell to Irizarry to show his hands. Krasner said he didn't want to try the case in the press, but
I think that the videos speak for themselves.
an attorney for Officer Dial said the facts will show he was justified and in fear for his life. Officers said they were following Irizarry around as he was driving erratically. He was killed while sitting in his car.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Monday marks 22 years since the 9/11 terror attacks. The Defense Department holding its ceremony today with an annual pledge to never forget.
Telling our stories helps increase understanding across generations.
Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at AmericanHumane.org.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years. I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money. Then it happened. There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me. My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made. I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class. Reggie hit a home run. The field is teeming with jobs. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. School is amazing. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. One student's experience, individual results.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
What a great afternoon of weather around town, headed into the weekend, mostly sunny skies. Beautiful temperatures and humidity, right around 80 degrees, so a lot of the time in the 70s. Tonight, clear, cool, 70s for evening plans, 58 for the low. Saturday, sunny and nice, 80 degrees, 55. Saturday night, Sunday, sunny and nice again, near 80. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I've been announcing the fact that I'm going to be the first seminar I've given in 2 years, September 9th and 10th. I'm doing it because, number one, the marketplace is ripe for incredible investing. During these 2 days, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to be able to walk out of that room Monday morning and go get the deal. You're going to learn to evaluate, negotiate, contract, close, and operate these properties. In 2008, 2009, when the marketplace did what it's doing right now, I tripled or maybe quadrupled my net worth. I throw that out there every time, and I think to myself, I can probably find out exactly what it was. It's happening, folks. I see it, I feel it. The numbers prove it out.
Join Del Walmsley, CEO and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited. One weekend only, September 9th and 10th, online or in person in Houston, Texas. Go to financialfreedomweekend.com and save your spot. Limited seating, financialfreedomweekend.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure is just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Change happens fast, and when it does, your small business needs to be ready. With Capitus as a trusted financing partner, you can be ready for anything that comes your way, be it a sudden bump in customer demand, the need for quick cash to fund unexpected opportunities, or keeping the lights on when there's a sudden downturn in the economy. A simple 5-minute online application with Capitus could put the funds you need in your hands in as little as 24 hours. Go to Capitus.com to explore your financing options. That's KAPITUS.com.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts test your battery for free. They can also help you find the best superstar battery for your vehicle. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts. St. Louis is home for conservative talk, searching for truth in a world of angles, positions, and outright lies. This is 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I need to hear.
They got someone here knows what you're talking about.
You need to take some time to get the full picture. Come on, turn the radio on. It's another day, and I won't be long. Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Ladies. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Ryan, that is one nice fanny you have over there.
I know. You're talking about a butt.
No. No. Gross.
Explain.
You explain.
Let's let the listeners talk about the fanny.
Like the real listeners, the ones that are in the room with us.
The ones that are in the room.
We've got X's and O's set up for you. Ryan Williams put in a ton of effort on today's game, right?
I did, partially because of all the tech problems. So I had to do a lot of workarounds, but I will say this about this week's game.
Okay.
It is eclectic.
Eclectic?
Yes.
Can you spell eclectic?
Lots of C's. Don't Google it.
Hold on here. Right from my brain.
So, Brad, you helped schedule our guests for today's X's and O's.
Yes.
We've been working on the idea of having some listeners come in and be the contestants on X's and O's, and you made it happen today. So, Brad, why don't you introduce for the people who are listening on the other side, the listeners who are in the studio here with us today?
All right. So, our first contestant playing O's is Amanda Rankin, and she has been a fan for how long?
5 years.
5 years now. And how did you come to be a fan of the show or find the show?
Well, Annie and I went to high school together.
Yeah.
So I guess that counts.
She said her junior year, please tune into my show.
It'll be the 2020s.
Right. Annie made her pinky promise.
Yeah.
No, I honestly, I actually just stumbled over it.
Stumbled into town.
No.
Yes, you did. You have.
I found it on Facebook.
There it is.
Perfect. I found it on Facebook, and
Would we have been friends on Facebook from like before, and that's how you found it, or do you think you found just the show?
I think I just found the show, honestly.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I hope she lets me be her
I
friend.
hope she lets me listen.
Well, I taught before in high school. I was a 4-sport athlete. I played volleyball, softball, basketball, and track. And this is pretty cool. When Amanda was in high school, did you graduate in 03? Yeah. A year behind me. I was in 02. She started like an athletic trainer program at school. So she was there for a lot of the sports that I played. You also were a trainer for the football team and everything. So Amanda and I were in a lot of the same places, a lot in a small high school too.
A little bit.
Yeah. So I've known Amanda for a long time, and it was really great to reconnect with her when she started listening to the show and realized, oh my gosh, yeah, I've known you forever. And now you're in the studio with us. So it's very exciting.
Very exciting. And then our other contestant playing X's is Libby. Libby, come on, step up to that mic. And so I'm going to ask you the same questions. How did you become a fan of the show?
Grade school.
No, I was in Chicago in grade school, and I'm less older than you guys. That being said, the whole COVID shutdowns,
Yeah.
I had to work from home a lot. So
Yeah.
my lonely times, I had to fill the day in front of my computer with you guys.
Well, we were very happy to get you through that really crappy time. And I think I like that you were able to find us during that time, because one of the things that we do a little bit differently than a lot of the other shows who are on conservative talk radio, and everybody's doing their own thing, and everybody does their own thing because that's the way they want to do it. And I think that all of those voices are important. All the different ways are important. We don't always go so hard and so serious 100% of the time because it's exhausting for us. And then COVID set in, and it's like, how can you take all of these things so seriously 100% of the time, because everything is so serious 100% of the time, that having kind of a community that we can build around issues that are important and things that matter and a battle that needs to be fought, we also at the same time want to have some fun and be able to enjoy time around one another. So Libby, thank you for finding us and sticking with us
Well, thanks for having me.
and being in the studio with us today.
You fill my day.
Oh, Libby made fans for us in case it gets a little hot. Every once in a while it does get a little toasty in here. And it has my face on them. And she said they're fannies.
Yeah.
Which was the fanny I was referring to when I complimented Ryan.
Mm-hmm. I just assumed
I'm speaking specifically to you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Just for clarification. And
Next
HR.
time it gets hot in here, we will just do this. We'll just do that.
Actually. I know. I'm going to take this with me everywhere I go. I think people have any questions.
It's totally normal. Not if you kind of semi-faint ahead of time and go, I got the faces.
Fanning herself in her face.
Everybody look at my fan.
Well, are you ladies ready to get going on X's and O's? We have Libby's X's, his O's. Todd the drummer is wandering around here. Yeah, there. Put him in here.
Weird, he's here all week.
I know. Where does he hide?
I think in the compressor chamber back there, behind all of the tech.
He's probably the one rewiring their microphones.
That's what's going on.
I think that makes sense.
I've seen him in that little kitchenette before too.
I have. It's weird. He doesn't wear a shirt.
Yeah.
I heard him snoring
No
in the recording studio behind the counter back there. It's wherever he can lay down.
I've seen him laying outside Soldiers Memorial.
Was he the guy in the park? Pooping?
Yeah, that one.
Do you want to start this or just we keep talking about Todd?
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's make up a backstory for Todd. This is X's and O's. We've got Libby and Amanda here. They are listeners from the show. This is very exciting. We've never done this before. Had listeners in, so that shows that we trust you.
Yes.
And also that we trained Brad how to use the dump button just in case.
Yes. No magic words.
No. Yeah. So we have, as you very well know, I'm sure from listening to the show, 9 squares up here, a tic-tac-toe board. Each square has a corresponding question. And you will pick them based on where you want to try to get tic-tac-toes. But the unique thing about this game is that not only can you get one tic-tac-toe, you can get multiples. And if there's a tie, it goes to the total number of squares that you would get. You have experts in front of you. This week, it is Annie Frey. It is Brad Range. It is Trisha Siekman.
Yes, expert. Woo!
That's right.
Expert.
Expert. Yep.
Expert. Trisha's here. She made us say that.
New title.
She is fanning herself just like all the rest of us are. And we are ready to play. I think I'm just going to flip my pen, and look at that. Libby goes first.
The pen flip had nothing to do with it either.
Nope.
I'd take that personally, Amanda.
Libby?
I'm the favorite.
Okay,
I'm
which
going to
square?
go with number 5, the little square.
Number 5. Who's answering?
Annie.
All righty.
Annie.
Annie, guess what?
What?
We're
All right.
starting with some audio.
So weird.
Speaking of Fred Schneider.
Speaking of.
If you didn't hear the show this week, we for some reason started talking about Fred Schneider.
I didn't know who Fred Schneider was until you went a little bit further with that.
Oh, really?
Now I remember.
Yeah, he's the lead talker of the B-52s. Speaking of Fred Schneider, the B-52s, I'm going to play a clip from a Fred Schneider song.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is tell me the name of the song.
I'm so glad that this is my question.
Ready?
No.
We were at the beach. Everybody had matching towels. Somebody went under a dock, and there they saw a rock.
That's it.
I've never heard that in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Libby knows the answer to this question, right? So I don't feel responsible for getting it right because Libby just has to agree or disagree with me.
Right.
It is not Love Shack. That is Barbie Girl.
Barbie. That is Barbie Girl by Aqua. Yes or
No, by Fred Schneider.
Okay.
Or Kevin Schneider.
That
Which
is
was it?
Rob Schneider. I don't know.
Rob Schneider. That
Rob
is
Schneider.
making copies.
Okay. It's a fluid answer.
All
And
of
the
them
answer
are
that
wrong.
she gave was making copies by Fred Schneider.
Right. Jed is incorrect.
Oh man.
Incorrect. She's correct. You
Really
can't believe it.
disappointed in myself.
Yeah. Now can you say the name of the song? Rock Lobster is correct.
I've never heard the phrase rock lobster.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's a great song.
I
It
thought,
is.
well, rock lobster was by Rock Mouth.
No. No. This is before Rock.
There's a rock mouth. I don't even know who that
And
is.
well, that happened today.
Yeah.
So
You weren't listening to the whole show.
I regret it, but it did happen today.
It might have happened while you were in your car listening to a different station. All
or
right.
trying to listen to our station. And
Yeah, right. Today's the day. All right. That means that the center square is taken by Libby. Amanda,
good job, Libby.
where do you want to go here?
Let's do number 1.
Number 1. Who's answering?
Top left.
Top left. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, top left. Sorry.
It's getting feisty in here, folks.
Let's do Brad.
All right.
Brad, guess what? You have stumbled into sound. This is a real clip from this week, but it won't sound like it. It's run through AI. Tell me who said this.
Joe Biden. I feel very strongly about the importance as a general matter of engaging in U.S. policy as it relates to foreign affairs in a way that we pay attention, of course, to the immediate concerns.
Gosh, dang it. What? Does this person have decision-making authority?
Probably.
Yeah.
This is debatable. I'll play it one more time just in case.
Okay.
Dive in here.
I feel very strongly about the importance as a general matter of engaging in U.S. policy as it relates to foreign affairs in a way that we pay attention, of course, to the immediate concerns.
God dang it, that's dumb.
But
You said word salad.
Yeah.
Isn't it bad that the two leaders of the free world could be answers to this question? Does that mean anything?
No.
I don't even know if that's the right
No, it
answer.
doesn't. It means not Trump.
Ooh, sadly.
So, yeah, that kind of word salad is only.
Bye.
Bye.
I didn't know there was 30 of them.
That's Kamala Harris.
It has to be.
Is it?
Doesn't
Yes,
it?
it has to be.
I agree.
Okay, well, here's who really said it.
I feel very
No.
strongly about the importance as a general matter
So
of
unfortunate.
engaging in U.S. policy as it relates to foreign affairs in a way that we pay attention, of course, to the immediate concerns.
What in the? I don't understand.
I think she got there eventually. What she's saying
No,
was
she
something
didn't. If she got there,
She said a
she
lot.
was alone.
Said a
when
lot
she
without
arrived.
saying anything. It's like listening to an 8th grade presentation. That's exactly what it sounds like.
And they wrote 2 pages, but it was supposed to be 5, so you just
Oh,
figure out a
man.
way to get there.
I had a phrase I would add to those papers that would just pad words.
Like what?
It was in its own inherent right. Add that phrase to the end of any sentence. Not only does it sound smarter, but it is just some words.
Own inherent right.
Yeah.
That's the 8th graders, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amanda's here to defend the 8th graders from Kamala Harris insults.
It really does sound like an 8th grade speech. I mean, you're right. That is so accurate. All right, Libby, back to you.
Remember that woman who was in the beauty pageant? She just started saying phrases. It was like 12 years
Yeah,
ago.
like such as.
And things. Yeah. That's what it kind of sounds like. Not good.
All right, I'm gonna go with score number 4. Middle.
Number 4.
Center left.
Center left.
Okay, who's answering for you? Who's your expert?
Brad.
Okay.
What was that?
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, yeah, you did. It's Brad.
Yeah.
A legendary letter by a legendary American writer penned in 1954 to his lawyer sold this week for $200,000, Brad. Born in Oak Park, Illinois in 1899, the author's famous works include The Old Man and the Sea, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and Hills Like White Elephants. Who is the author?
Oh, man.
Eclectic. I told you it's an eclectic week.
I went to public school.
I knew this
Come on,
one.
Dad.
I
Did you?
read
All
one
right,
of those
all right,
books.
all right.
Did you?
Here we
Yes.
go.
I didn't read many.
I only read Hills
I didn't
Like
read
White
any.
Elephants. I couldn't read the others.
Old Man and the Sea? Did you read that?
I don't think I did.
What was Mr. Fry's class at the time?
I mean, I probably should have.
Was that assigned in the classroom? Yeah.
I mean, we did more Russian literature. No.
Right,
Ernest Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway.
I was thinking ACDC.
AC&D.
No,
AC&D.
yeah, ACDC.
Both of them.
I have no idea, so I'm going to trust that Brad is correct.
Wow. That's these are some shots in the dark and they're all right.
This is not a shot in the dark.
You got
Brad
You
knows
didn't
his
act like
stuff.
you did.
I know things
Don't you know that Brad tries to set up our contestants all the time?
all the time.
Yeah,
He's
a
nice.
bald-faced liar.
Yep.
That one, you got
That
it.
one.
Yep.
That right?
Yep, you got it.
All right. X's are threatening with a tic-tac-toe across the center line, and we're going to take a quick break. When we return, listeners, Libby and Amanda continue to face off in this week's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gollum.
You want to finish this for me? I'm struggling.
This week's is Zaddy Fry show.
Why Gollum?
It's 222. It's my precious.
This
What?
week is Eddie.
I
Fry.
quit. I may or may not be here when we come back. Stay tuned to find out if I will continue to be on this crazy show. We'll be right back.
Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about
This is
you
Matt Spiegel at 670 Score in Chicago, and my podcast, The PBP, Voices of Baseball, is all about the art and craft of play-by-play. Catch up on episodes with Joe Davis, Joe Buck, and many more. Then something crazy happened along the way. I did a weekend of Cubs Cardinals on the radio, so now conversations are enriched with feedback and advice from Jason Panetti, Boog Shambi, and others to come. The PBP, Voices of Baseball. I bring you the people who bring you the game. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to 20% on a new HVAC system when you bundle it with attic insulation. 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated. For a free estimate on attic insulation, visit aircomfortservice.com.
We've gone out a few times. You ready to put a ring on it? Download the Odyssey app and listen to 97.1 FM Talk on your phone or by telling your smart speaker to play it. This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow me on Instagram at the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Friday, and boy, are we happy about that. And if you've been listening, you're probably happy this is almost over also. Mark Reed show's next.
Yeah.
People want to stick it out a little bit longer.
Love it.
Stick around.
Good show. Solid show.
X's and O's.
Program to put on it.
We have listeners in here who Brad has selected to come play X's and O's with us. Amanda and Libby, if you are ever on the Annie Frey YouTube chat, you probably see their names in there. Really grateful that they came in to play X's and O's. Our first listener contestants for the game. If you want to be a contestant on X's and O's, you can reach out to Brad by following him on Twitter.
On Twitter, yep. My DMs are open, so
At Range Brad.
At Range Brad.
Reach out to Brad there and see if you can persuade him to get in here for the next time we have an opening. Todd's here.
Hi, Todd.
He seems really relaxed.
Yeah.
Super chill guy.
It's amazing how the different emotions that Todd's drumming goes through.
Yeah.
Considering it is
A lot of
standard
feelings
track that we play every
in those beats.
Yeah. Yep.
What? Your voice cracked.
Yeah. You made me laugh. While I was saying yes,
You're
in
embarrassed.
the middle of the yes, I laughed. I'm not going to tell you where you're going, Amanda, but I think I know which square you want to go with here.
6.
Number 6. Okay, here we go.
Yay!
Who's answering that question for you?
Oh, Annie.
Annie. Plagued by horrible traffic problems.
Yeah, that's me.
Every day.
Yes.
And here
Yes,
is the
lock it in.
question. Plagued by horrible traffic problems, floods, and drug overdoses, this year's biggest concert event in the desert of Nevada was well attended despite being dubbed a hallucinogenic state fair. What is the name of this festival, Annie?
Burning Man.
Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Oh, that was kind of easy. I thought that would be a little harder.
Isn't it ironic that is it safe to say it's a pagan festival? Is that a stretch? I mean
you
that's
and
my
I
judgment.
would say yes, but I don't know that they bill it as a pagan festival, do they?
In a desert,
Never been there.
and then
I
it
don't know.
got struck with a downpour of rain. Let's move on.
My favorite was Plague Number Frogs. Libby?
Plague number frogs. That's an interesting sentence.
I'm going to go with square number 2, middle top.
Middle top. Who is answering this question for you?
Thank you.
Trisha.
I'm ready. She's like, wait,
Trisha.
just waiting. So
Trisha.
pumped.
Here we go, Trisha.
If I don't know it, I'll wink. Okay, sweet. Thanks. Thanks.
Easy.
Don't do the cheating. Biden's bizarre claims raise eyebrows in liberal circles, but outlets stop short of L word.
Liar?
That is the headline from Fox News this week.
Whoops.
What's I'm gonna ask a question
you,
based
Annie.
on that headline.
Is the question what's the L word?
What's the L word that outlets would not use on the president?
Is this for 3-year-olds? Good grief. Taking it easy on the listeners.
So I didn't know. I think I could have inferred that it might be liar.
L words for President Biden. Liar.
Liar.
Loser. Lemon.
Lame-o.
Lame-o.
I think Annie is correct with liar. That is my guess.
I'm going to go with that's a good answer.
Incorrect.
Oh, no.
It was lesbian.
No, it wasn't.
Right. No, it wasn't.
God.
Oh, man, he tricked us.
I know, I was
I
freaking
don't even
out.
remember which one was picked
Yeah.
now. Is it 2?
2.
That was 2. That was 2.
I'm going to take that mark from you if you can't get it together.
Look, Annie threw me off. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I threw me off too.
Wow.
Thanks,
All right.
Annie.
Screwed that
for
one
the
up.
assist.
My bad.
He shouted liar. That was such a Ryan thing to do.
It really was.
That was awesome.
It was. I felt like I was looking into a funhouse mirror. Hey, I ruined that question and it wasn't me.
It's kind of a stupid question.
It's a really bad question.
I told you it was eclectic this week.
So many options.
That's the word I use for
Lost.
It's another word for bad.
We're getting more
Lost.
suggestions for L words that would describe president. This is like
Thank you.
categories.
Yeah.
We've lost
Any
control.
card.
Okay, who we back to then? Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I know where you're
Yeah,
gonna go. but
number 8,
Number 8 for the block.
bottom center.
Okay.
follow my
Playing a lot of
Yeah,
defense
right.
here.
I know. That's all I'm doing. It's just defense. That's fine.
Defense wins championships.
Yes.
And X's and O's.
Yeah.
Who is answering this question for you?
Annie.
She gives away answers. So.
Annie.
Might as well be for the
I
question
think
I'm
Annie's
asked.
off the board now, right?
After
that's
this.
our last
Yep,
question.
This is our last one.
Okay. Annie, guess what? You have
Oh boy.
assembled it as another real clip from the week run through AI, so it won't sound like the person saying it.
Joe
Tell
Biden.
me who said this.
Whoopi is not here. She has COVID. Yes, it's back.
That's the whole clip.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
No, all right.
Whoopi is not here. She has COVID. Yes, it's back.
Joy Behar of The View, singular.
The logical guess, but
Also the correct one. Don't be a liar
agree or disagree?
or a loser.
Agree.
Guess who's a loser on that question? It's Libby.
Oh no.
She has COVID. Yes, it's back.
Oh.
Yep.
Did you hear the whole crowd? She's COVID.
Oh. Whoopee.
They weren't sad she was gone. They were just sad COVID's back.
It'd have been a real tragedy if the reaction would have been different.
Whoopi is gone and COVID's back. Yay. Oh, wait, there's not a real studio audience. Somebody's pressing a button. Okay.
Oh, man.
We got a game here.
Yeah, we do. Sure do.
No real clear path for anybody.
All right, I'm just going to hang out here and mind my business and shout out
Enjoy.
answers.
Enjoy.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with square number 3.
Another
Upper
L
right.
word for Biden, laggy.
Yeah, laggy.
Lazy.
Ooh, saucy.
Number 3. Look out, FBI's listening. We know they are.
I'm going to get arrested.
Who's answering the question for you?
Brad?
If the broadcast actually works.
Yeah.
Brad is answering this
Brad.
This is
question.
my last one.
Lacking.
Your last one?
All right, Brad.
It's going to be up to Trisha.
Yeah, you stumbled into sound, Brad. This is a real clip from this week. It won't sound like it's run through AI. Tell me, who said this?
I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month.
New York City's mayor, Eric Adams.
He's correct.
I don't see an ending to this.
Yay.
This issue
My
will
studying paid
destroy
off.
New York City.
Who's Mark Adams? Because that's what I think
Destroy
I
New
would
York
have said.
City. We're getting
Mark Adams?
Is that a name?
10,000 migrants a
Somebody's
month.
name.
Somebody's name, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
New York City Mayor Matt Adams.
That could be better.
Do I get a half X?
You got the full X on that.
Okay.
I'm not going to raise the half X.
Amanda, back to you.
According to Google, Mark Adams is currently a college student majoring in health promotion and science at St. Francis College in New York City.
Well, good luck to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's a
I'm
promotion.
amazed that there's not a
Mayor.
more famous Mark Adams
Right?
than this random college kid at Francis University.
It's the second result.
It's interesting. New York probably does impact him, though, if that's
Yeah.
where he's located.
Yeah, he might want to be mayor. Next.
Future Mayor Mark Adams from Francis University.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yay, defense.
Sentence fragments.
7.
Word fragments. Number 7 is going to who? I guess it has to be Trisha,
Trisha.
right?
Lethargic
Yay. Let's do
and
it.
laughable.
He's a lackey.
Lackey.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's lackey.
Lumpy.
He's not lumpy.
Maybe.
How do you know?
I don't.
Just assume.
Well, he sniffed my hair, and I could guess. Ooh, this guy feels lumpy. Oh, it's Joe Biden. Joe, here's number
I think
7.
that makes sense.
Joe. What's that?
Ryan needs a minute now.
What's that lump I feel?
Why am I feeling it?
Who's sniffing my locks?
Nope.
It's the president.
Liability.
There we go.
Number 7. Coincidentally, Joe Biden.
Oh.
Shocking.
Yeah. Gave the Medal of Honor to U.S. Army Captain Larry Taylor, who heroically flew his helicopter into harm's way to rescue 4 fellow soldiers completely surrounded by
Hero.
the enemy. Yes. And facing certain death. But Joe Biden, unheroically, put the medal on Captain Taylor, then walked off, unaware that the ceremony was still going. In what war did Captain Larry Taylor fight in?
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. I don't know this.
Yay.
So, my guess would be the Iraq War, but I'm going to guess World War I.
World War One.
Yep.
Wow.
So, am I right?
American Revolution.
What was before the Civil War?
Joe Biden was there.
Lackluster.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's double
Yeah.
Spanish
category for
American.
category.
You get 2 points, FR.
Yeah. Agree or disagree?
I'm going to disagree.
It's the right move.
Yeah, thank you.
Vietnam?
It is Vietnam.
Vietnam.
It is
All right.
Vietnam.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
1 square left?
Yep.
All right, we love these because
No
it all comes
tic-tac-toe.
down to
No,
this.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Tell us about the table, Ryan. Tell us.
All right, what we have is 8 out of 9 squares filled, no tic-tac-toes, and 4 squares for X's, 4 squares for O's. So it comes down to the last question, which is very dramatic. Everything is on the line, and
We
one
do
of
what we
you
can.
will never come back.
Vicky says to Trisha's answer, yes, he was 110 years old.
Exactly.
I love Vicky.
You have to be even older than that. All right, we are down to number 9 then.
Leech.
I like it. I like it. Libby, So this has to be Trisha, right?
Trisha. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Here
My
we go.
girl.
I got you.
Are you nervous?
I have the utmost confidence in Trisha.
Oh, okay.
She's got my fanny.
I got you.
Oh,
So
she
lost
threw
it.
it on the
She
floor.
threw it on the ground.
No, hold on.
She's
She's
done.
Needs context,
All right,
but
Fox
we're not
News
going to
reports
provide
are
it.
made.
Feel your confidence coming back.
I already
We're
gave
good.
the question.
Yes.
Oh.
Your answer.
What?
Oh, you want me to give it again? Okay, you paid attention now? Okay.
I
Everybody's
dropped
having
my
fun.
fanny.
Yeah. All right. Fox News reports that a man in a giant human-sized hamster wheel was arrested
Yep.
saw this.
by the Coast Guard for trying to leave the United States and cross the Atlantic en route to London.
It was Joe Biden.
I can't go that fast.
I gotta get out of
He
here.
fell asleep
This
about
place sucks.
10 steps in.
Started walking the wrong way off stage and just kept going.
And look at this contraption.
Trying
Where
to
does
get
this
to
go?
London.
Come on, man.
Ended
Not
up
a joke.
in Hawaii. From
So we're
what
going to need you to follow this path right into this presidential device.
Put him in a gerbil ball. And let him
Right?
And you're going to need to paddle.
An oatmeal in London. From what state was the man in the giant hamster ball fleeing?
Ooh, okay.
The
I
United
read this headline.
States.
I saw the hamster ball. Did not read what state he was from. So, I think it's Connecticut, but we're gonna say
Nebraska.
Puerto Rico.
That's a strategy.
That's not a
County.
state. No. Come on.
I have to pick an actual. I'm
Pick a
allowed to have
state.
a wrong. I'm allowed to have an answer, whatever answer I want.
Lurker.
Puerto Rico County is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
that's exactly.
Puerto Rico County.
I'm gonna have to
Amanda,
disagree.
if I were you, I would be mad at Trisha right now.
Sorry,
She
Amanda.
gave her a bye too. Come on.
I did. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Quite a game we've had here today. Libby, do you agree that he was fleeing from Puerto Rico County, U.S.?
Just like your.
I do not agree.
That's correct.
It's a draw.
Yay!
Ooh, who has
no,
five?
it's the total number of squares,
X's by one.
which goes to Libby. Congratulations. He was fleeing Florida. It was Florida Man.
Oh.
It was Florida Man.
That would have been a really solid guess.
Yes.
One like
Yes.
close to the ocean.
Puerto
Yes.
Rico.
Yeah, that makes
She
sense.
said Connecticut. I mean,
I
that's-
did.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was going to go with Connecticut after she said that.
Me too, and I was scared.
Amanda and Libby, thank you for being such loyal listeners to the show. We love you. We're grateful that you came in here and hung out with us. We look forward to seeing you again in the Annie Frey YouTube chat.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Libby.
Thank you.
On your bottom of the ninth victory.
Literally.
You guys will have to come back and face off again
We
and
definitely will.
have
Thanks
another
for having
competition.
us.
Of course. All right, stick around. The YouTube live chat poll when we return. Do you like polls? Yes, love them. No, don't trust them. Or no, but the AFS poll is fun. We're mailing it in, guys. We'll be right back.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. I'm going to show you my 5 steps for making the perfect radio ad. This one's about innovation refunds and the ERC. First step, be relatable. As a small business owner, I know that filing for the ERC tax refund can feel complicated and confusing. Also, I like pizza and puppies. There, done. Step 2, cold hard info. The ERC, or Employee Retention Credit for long, is a tax credit for eligible businesses that kept employees on payroll in 2020 and 2021. So if you qualify, Innovation Refund's network of independent tax attorneys could help you claim it. Step 3, call to action. Go to innovationrefunds.com to get started. Step 4, the jingle I wrote myself. Actually, scratch that. Just go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS and go to step 5. Legal stuff.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
When you're looking to build a home on the Illinois side of the river, you need to find out more information about C.A. Jones. You can go online to cajonesinc.com and see some of the beautiful homes right now that they have for sale. Brand new homes, their inventory of homes that you could buy right now. You don't have to wait for the build. You can find it at cajonesinc.com. But while you're there, you can also play around with their buildable plans feature on their website. If you are looking to maybe downsize, the kids are moved on and moved out, and you know that they're going to come back and visit. Maybe grandkids are going to come back and visit, so you need space to have them when they're there, but you don't need to have all the space that you need to clean and pay to heat and cool and everything. You're looking for a downsized house, but you want it to be everything you want it to be. If you go online to cajonesinc.com, you can check out the different size houses that they have, different layouts, different blueprints that they have, and then you can manifest it into what you want it to look like and see it for yourself right there on the website. It's an incredibly fun tool and really, really helpful. C.A. Jones works to improve lives through quality homes and community involvement. They give back where they build, and you can learn more about them online at cajonesinc.com.
Today's poll is multiple layers. You have to really sift through this to get to the bottom of it. It's a poll about polls. Do you like polls? Let us know in the Annie Frey Show poll. We will give those poll results about polls coming up in just a minute. It is 2:44. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Ted Nugent. I would like to speak to the people who wear masks.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
This is my favorite AC and DC song.
Mine too.
Is there some "ooh yeah" in this song? Is that?
Sort of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Something like Jack Black.
Is this Motley Crue?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not a Motley Crue fan.
This is an AC and DC?
No, I'm sorry.
No. I would give you a pass on this one because those songs are kind of interchangeable. There's a lot. The voices sound somewhat similar.
Which songs?
Motley Crue. This song in particular sounds like it could have been an AC/DC song. Although AC/DC is a little bit harder with their blues riffs.
Kickstart My Heart, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Walrus King. In the chat. I just don't know these songs. The YouTube live chat poll. Do you like polls? Yes, you love them. No, you don't trust them. No, but the AFS poll is fun. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and we will wrap that up here in a little bit and give you the results and read some of your comments on it. This has been kind of a wild show today.
This has been a crazy show.
I have no idea what it sounded like on the other end.
I don't either.
We were working so hard in the background here in the studio to make everything work. And I'm just thinking, like, this is the same thing that everybody deals with. We're doing it very publicly, of course. But if you're working with a team and you're trying to get a proposal done because something is going to be due and the printer doesn't work and you're out of paper or whatever it might be, like this type of crunch, I think people relate to this.
I think so. I think, though, the difference is that if you're a team and you got to deliver a sales presentation or something, you usually just put all that stuff aside and you do the presentation anyway. Our PowerPoint isn't working, but we're just going to talk right through it anyway. We might not even let you know that the PowerPoint wasn't working because we're that professional. We, however, talk about our problems.
Mostly that's because if we try to talk about something serious and then more tech goes out, we don't want to be caught in the middle of having to fake it.
Yeah, just know that for every 5 seconds that we talk about tech, that's about 5 minutes of actual tech problems that we've had that we're trying to gloss over.
We can't. I want to read, this is from Yahoo. These are, it says, times have changed. People are sharing things that were normal in the 1990s and the 2000s, but are considered now a luxury.
Ooh, that's not where I thought that was going.
New furniture made out of real wood.
That's considered a luxury, eh?
Yeah, people, everything is so processed or engineered, I think is the word that is used.
Was furniture made out of real wood a common thing 10, 20 years ago, though? I mean, I didn't think it was even then.
You buy like vintage furniture.
Well, vintage, but that would be old at that point.
But that was what was common. Like new types of material that are engineered to look like wood or something else. That's a technological development. Wood is, and none of that stuff lasts like wood furniture does.
Yeah, it's like disposable clothing with furniture.
Fast fashion. Owning software you purchased.
It's a weird one, but that's true.
Thinking about how you use your computer and how you used to go to the store and buy the box of software. I mean, that's something that there's a whole generation of people who are in the workforce now that they probably never experienced that. You get online, you download it, you put it on, but then you're going to have to upgrade it and so on and so forth. But to actually own it.
Yeah.
Like Office used to be a thing, and now it's Office 365, and it's just a subscription.
Well, what we edit onto Adobe.
Yeah,
I mean, that
like
used to be
that as
something
well.
you could buy, and now you have to subscribe to it. I like the convenience of
I
having...
prefer this version.
I don't. I like owning it because then they can't constantly change things on you. I mean, it's nice when it's an update that you needed, but I liked owning it because then you had... It's just like DVDs. I liked owning a physical copy of something. I feel like I'm paying for this thing that doesn't really exist now.
But if your DVD gets ruined, you got to buy another one. If you're streaming it, it's always...
Yeah.
I mean, the cost, I don't know what, for instance, Disney Plus costs these days. It's probably $10 or $11 a month. I think when it first came out, I was paying like $5.99 because I got it before it was even released. But I think, people think people get bent out of shape about streaming costs, but you kind of have to compare your access and usage of what you're streaming to something outside of that. Like, how would I consume? Maybe it's buying all the DVDs. Well, if the DVD, I mean, I hate DVDs because they get scratched and then they don't work, and or you lose them and then you don't have it anymore. The fact that you can stream something and stream it anywhere at any time, really grateful, except for the van, which our Pacifica has screens in it. And if we're going on a distance travel, if we're going to be in the car more than 30 minutes, we'll let Molly watch TV or whatever. We use DVDs there. So I go to yard sales. I just bought like a dozen DVDs this past weekend, and it's just for the car. And they were $1 a piece.
I'll tell you what I really miss about DVDs, though, is the special features. I would get caught watching special features for another hour
They're
after the
all
movie.
on the streaming platforms.
Are they?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the outtakes from the show are there on the
yeah,
streaming?
the
I can't
director's
find that.
commentary and all that stuff. If you like, when you look at the movie to watch the movie, you scroll down more, and there's more and features and extras and all that other stuff, and they're under there.
You just blew my mind. I didn't know any of that was there.
Yeah. You can usually
Wow.
get, if it would have been on the DVD, it's usually accessible with the product.
I'm so excited.
There's all this new content.
A world of new content.
Not being expected to be reachable 24/7. What we grew up really through high school into college, because we all of us here had phones in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did all of your peers have phones by college?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
I think I was the last one.
I think that mid high school, I mean, I was probably a junior or senior before my peers all had phones. I don't even know if that's the case though. But we weren't even allowed to access each other 24/7. We were allowed to access each other after 9 p.m.
Nights and weekends.
Nights and weekends is when you would, and texting didn't exist. I mean, the idea that you would send a text, I mean, I still think of texts from time to time in 10-cent increments. And that is not something, like, if you think about how many texts you send right now, you don't think about it costing anything. It's just a way you communicate. That was definitely not the case. And if you remove all those barriers, we are accessible 24/7.
We're all married to teachers. Have you guys had to tell your spouses to cut it off at a certain time? Because students now, probably because of COVID, will message and ask questions all hours of the day.
Yeah, all hours of the night.
I don't tell my husband to cut it off. If he's doing something for his
Listen,
job,
Bobbit.
he no, not where I was going with that. If he deems it worthy to respond, then I trust him to respond.
Yeah, with my wife, I don't usually say anything unless she's complaining about it. It's like 11:30 and they sent it to me. And it's like, you just don't reward that. If you don't want to answer that question, you got to let them know that, they got to learn that 11:30 at night is not the time to send a question asking about the homework that is due tomorrow.
I don't feel like I've ever seen him at 11 o'clock responding to that stuff. So he might just have made that choice himself. Good quality fabric and clothing. I have clothes from the 90s and the 80s from my mother that still hold up today. These days, I'm lucky if the shirt isn't saggy and misshapen within a year. There are times if I'm in a hurry to buy something for a specific occasion that might be happening that evening, I know that what I buy the first time I launder it is probably not going to fit the way I need it to fit that night.
I only buy my clothes at Nordstrom, so I don't know. But
fast, that doesn't mean that it's not. I mean, that could still be pretty high maintenance clothing. If you actually did that, you would know that. Like a lot of that's dry cleaning and everything.
Yeah.
But fast fashion is not good. I mean, the longevity you get out of a piece of clothes, and then you replace it, and then you replace it. The amount of money that you could invest in one quality piece of clothes that would last may actually, in the end, save you money anyway.
It's probably the most wasteful thing that we do.
I agree.
As a society, is just how much money we spend on clothes that just we wear them a couple times, and then either it's no good to wear or they just hang in the closet.
Items not requiring a subscription each month. I think the one thing that annoys me the most, and I don't know if it's like hypocritical, I don't think it is, of me, is that online news, local news, they want to charge you every time you read it. Like there will be real news and you got to pay to read it. I won't do it.
I won't either.
But the thing that frustrates me is there's ads, you're selling advertisements on the website, and I assume in whatever print you might still be circulating, which that's got to be negligible. So I don't know. I don't want, we work in radio. When you're listening to the station, it's free to listen. We are incredibly grateful when you patronize our sponsors, when I'm doing endorsements for people that I've built relationships with. When you support them, they support us. We bring you free radio, you support them, and that's a circle. And I guess news is just different. But it seems weird that there could be like a murder in your neighborhood and you got to pay $1 to find out what happened.
Isn't it so frustrating when you really want to read one too? Because paywall.
Yeah.
You're just like, screw you.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, I don't like it. Subscription, and especially when they put ads on it after you paid the subscription. It's just stop. Either one or the other. And I don't mind watching ads or being sold that way.
But I will also add to it that going back to what I don't think I finished this point about the Disney thing. If I'm paying $11 a month and my kids get to watch shows that they love over and over and over again, when I think about going to the movie theater, the cost to take a family of 6 to the movie theater is going to be probably $100.
Yeah.
If it's a new release, that if I'm paying $11 and we get to watch some big release 3 months later or whatever, I feel like I'm still ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But I also don't subscribe to Netflix. I don't subscribe to Hulu. I don't subscribe to a bunch of these other things. My husband and I have a plan of sorts that is, we pick one show that we're going to watch, and we're not in the stage of our life where we even really have the luxury to do that at this point. But if we're going to watch Sopranos, we will subscribe to HBO Max. When we're done with Sopranos, if there's nothing else on HBO Max to watch, we unsubscribe.
Yeah.
And then if the next thing is Outlander and it's on Stars, then we go subscribe to Stars, which is $3.99 a month. And if we're watching an entire series of a television show on there and I'm paying $7 a month or $4 a month, that still to me is incredibly cheaper than I would pay to access that content. And they have to make money somehow in order to continue to make content.
Right.
Bless you.
Thank you.
That was a very good radio sneeze. YouTube live chat poll. Do you like polls? Yes, you love them. No, you don't trust them. Or no, but the AFS poll is fun. Brad, your answer to today's YouTube live chat poll.
I don't like them, but the AFS YouTube poll is fun. So that's my answer.
Ryan?
Hate love, but I do love. I do like the polls, yes.
Did that make sense to you, Brad?
Hate, love, hate, but I do like the polls.
Hate, love, hate. I felt
it's
like
a love-hate relationship.
either you or I
don't-
short-circuited there, and I don't want to just put it on you.
Yeah.
It might have been my brain that went,
Hang on.
what?
I gotta sneeze real quick.
Sorry.
No, I love it. There's a professional sneeze.
Jay says polls are like stats. They have no value but make good conversation. Roger says the polls have been spectacularly wrong since 2016. I don't understand why anyone is taking the current polls related to the primary seriously, especially this far out. Erica says, I trust the anti-Frey polls, but no other. That's maybe bad judgment. I don't know. Carlos says I picked the correct answer, and that is the AFS poll is the best. The results right now on the Anti-Frey YouTube channel, we are so close to 6,000 subscribers. Go subscribe if you haven't yet. Do you like polls? Yes, love them, 19%. No, don't trust them, 24%. No, but the AFS poll is fun, 57% with a resounding majority.
I knew I was going to lose that one. I knew it going into it.
You still feel like a winner, though, don't you?
I'm always a winner.
Nice fanny.
Thank you.
Mark Reardon Show up next.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
It looks like wood, it feels like wood, but it's maintenance free. It's luxurious James Hardie siding. And during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary, get same as cash financing on James Hardie and Pella windows. And have a banner day.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant.